What's up, chat? Did I do it? Am I live? First penis galore of 2026. Who's penis right now? Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Oh my god! We're back! We are so back! It's 2026! I'm so glad we played Elden Ring in 2025! No, wait a minute. I'm so glad we beat Elden Ring already. Okay, look. Look! We got close. We got close to beating Elden Ring, I would say. We got objectively way closer than we were at the beginning of the year. We beat Lies of P in December. If you think about it, if you literally think about it, we basically beat the game. We basically beat the game. We got close. We got so close. We got really close, and that is a live C. Chat, how have y'all been? How was your holiday season? The P was so close. Me when I have to go to the doctor's office and then they make you pee, and then all of a sudden you can't pee, and then you're like, oh, the P is close. The P is never close. It's never close. Now that's a real live P. Chad, thank you so much for the subs. Wins Bailey, thank you for the Prime. Endless Carpet, thank you for the Prime. Starship Whiskey, thank you for the Raw Tier 1. V.E. Kruger. Horrible Mushrooms, 4-month anniversary. You're 4 months old today. Apple Saucy, L4 Legend, Ide. Oh, Mercury, thank you for the Prime. Zesty S is thank you for the Prime. Terra Nil, thank you for the Gifted. And B to the Dawn, thank you for the Prime. Whew. Look at that. Speedrun. Speedrunning for real. Happy New Year. Absolutely. Dude, oh my god. I got addicted to so many video games during the break. I played the shit out of Project Zomboid. I played... Right now we're playing Yakuza Kiwami 2 because they, like, upgraded it or something? It's, like, newish? I've been playing that shit. Oh my god, I've been playing so many video games. I bought so many games on the Steam sale. Oh, also... Okay, chat, I wanted to bring this across your desk. Slide this onto your desk. Should we start doing side quest streams? I thought maybe like once a week we could do like a side quest stream. One of the side quests that I have planned is that I got like 3 games on Steam that were 100% off. Like they were technically free. So I wanted to like go through and like review them. And see if it was too good to be true that I got 100% off Steam game. One of them is called Rat Quest. So, we'll see. Rat Quest. Terranel, thank you for the Gifted. The 2 Gifted. But separately. Nito Lover, thank you for the resub. Yeah, Rat Quest. Rat Quest. We'll see. Yeah, one of them was called Rat Quest, and it was 100% off. One was called, like, Tinker Toy Village, and one of them was called, like, Orange Juice something. Glad to see my eyebrow. Yeah, my eyebrow did grow back during the break. It's filling in very nicely. Can't even tell it was gone. Only if you can get scanned. That's 100%. 100% chance of that. Did I go to the doctor to get the eyebrow back? That's what happened. They said, we're gonna need to send you to a specialist. We're gonna need to send you to a specialist. All right. Should we get into what I have planned for us today? I have kind of a plan that might be interesting for us today. Oh, Portable Mushroom, thank you for the Gifted. And Terry, thank you for the Gifted again. Chill. Went to Turkey for the eyebrow transplant. Absolutely. The specialist was in Turkey. Okay. So, let me find a song here to introduce what we're doing today, because that's the most important part, obviously. Here we go. Alright, chat. As you all know, in 2025, we played a lot of video games. So, I thought it might be interesting to go back through our 2025, review our 2025, and host our very own Game of the Year show. The Cordies, the C2Es, the Neighbors in Workshop. But we're going to go through basically and recap our 2025. Choose our best, most favorite games of 2025 and see where everything we played stacked up. Now, how do I present a PowerPoint? Hold on. Let me put this shit in presentation mode. Slideshow. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Alright, here we go. Spoilers, it was Dark Souls 2. So true. How do I... Okay, here we go. Alright, welcome to the Cordies, the first annual Cordies, C2Es, whatever you'd like to call it. Presented, of course, by myself, C2. So, our stats. Here's where we ranked here's where we ranked for the year. We played 11 games this year. More like the farties. Okay. It can be the farties. It can be the farties if you'd like it. But here's where we stacked up for the year. So we played 11 games. 7 of them were Souls-likes. And 0 of them were actually nominated for a Game Award. So 0 of them were... Better luck next time. Better luck next year. Our goals for 2026. Hey, we can do better in 2026. We're going to play more video games in 2026. In 2026, we're not going to stream anymore, but we're not going to stream any less. Keep that in mind. We're going to do Souls challenge runs in 2026. That's on the menu. Elden Ring, and Elden Ring, because famously we did not beat it in December. So that's on the menu. And as a final thing, I want to collab with somebody. Man Army Games, please hit my line. I'm desperate. Okay. Our categories. We have a lot of categories this year. Some of them you actually will get to vote in. So there are a couple of these categories where you will get to cast your vote for the winner. All right. Page Bomber Guy collab incoming. Collab with Kevin Hart. Okay, deal. I'm sure we'll get him on. I'm sure we have that Kai Cenat poll. I'm sure we have that Kai Cenat poll. All right. Our first award. This is Best Character Creation. We have, of course, Taint 2 from Dark Souls 2. We have Fat Taint the original, and we have Butt Crack from Dark Souls 3. And the winner goes to Fat Taint. You know what I mean? Like, he's got that sauce. He's got that original sauce. Look at him. He's pissed off. He has a weapon that sucks. He has a taint with more emotion than the ocean. Like, look at him. Taint 2 didn't stand a chance. Look at Taint 2. Taint 2 is just happy to be at the table. Taint 2 is happy that he's here. Buttcrack doesn't know where he is. Buttcrack has no idea where he is currently. Taint 2 is just happy to be here, and Fat Taint, of course, come on. Look at him. He's locked in. He's dialed in. He's like, give me the award. Give me the award. All right. Next, we have Best Supporting Character. Now, there's been a lot of amazing characters in the games we've played. Obviously, Eileen the Crow, we did kill her. Sig Meyer, we also killed him. Solaire, we killed him too. Patches, I don't think we killed him. I don't think we killed Patches. Did we kill him? Where's Bashful Ray? Bashful Ray snubbed at the Cordies. Absolutely snubbed. There's Lucatiel, of course. We got the Blacksmith, the Giant Blacksmith. Who could forget the Emerald Herald, our wife for all time. This is like the wife corner. I really created like a little wife corner over here. You know, including Lucatiel. Subconsciously created the wife corner. Best character we killed. So true. Yeah. And then this guy, obviously the Sculptor. Love this guy. Great guy. Emma, also great character. Why is Solaire not in the wife corner? Solaire should be in the wife corner. He's obviously misplaced. All right, so the best supporting character 2025, it's Solaire. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? They put a big, beautiful gay man in the video game. I love this man. I love this man. God damn it, I love my girlfriend, but I love my husband more. That's my husband, baby. Yeah, I would jollily cooperate with this man. Yeah. Yeah. All right, next. Best boss. We have a lot of... Your girlfriend should join as a support character. She really was. To be honest. To be honest. Alright. Best boss. We have Corrupted Monk. Great boss. We have Gravelord Nito, very tiny. I don't even know how this got in here. I don't think I put this here. Just ignore that. He's not in the running. This guy sucks. Just forget this guy. Demon of Hatred. Sister Frida, Orphan of Kos. The man who broke the fart box. We got Ornstein Smo, Ishin the Sword Saint, and the Fume Knight. All of these great contenders. Where's your drawing of Yorm? All of these great contenders, but there can only be one winner. It's Ornstein and Smo. I love Ornstein and Smo. They're the blueprint. Come on. Come on, they're the blueprint. Look at those nipples. Nobody pulls off nipples like that guy. Gravelord Nito is not runner-up. Gravelord Nito, I don't even know how he got on here. First game bias, 100%. DS1 bias detected. As it should be. DS1 sweeping? Just wait. Just wait. Because now we have hardest game. We played a lot of hard games this year. Including 4-Wheel Challenge. My god. This shit, it took me 2 streams to beat. I thought I was just gonna, like, spank this out in, like, an hour. Not even. This game is really hard. Sekiro's so hard. Sekiro is the only Souls game to give me physical pain. And Dark Souls 3, my god. I think we played, like, 200 hours of Dark Souls 3, legitimately. Like, Dark Souls 3 took so long. So long. Where's Captcha? Captcha was also a hard game. That shit was so hard. She never beat Twin Princes. I did beat Twin Princes! I did! By myself. Okay, hardest game goes to Dark Souls 3. Hardest game for sure goes to Dark Souls 3. Like... Sister Frida. Sister Frida alone. Sister Frida alone. Just Sister... The concept of Sister Frida. The concept... Sister Frida took me so much time. It's crazy you think Dark Souls 3 is harder than Sekiro. I think it's harder, personally. How many streams did Frida take? I think Frida herself alone took like 3 streams. I literally did an entire stream where I just like studied tape. All phases are just phases. Sister Frida is just, she's diabolical. She's a pain, just a pain hole. Just a pain hole of a boss, to be honest with you. Dude, why is this thing cranked up? Both Sister Frida and Ishin made you take a break. Yeah, Ishin is really difficult. That is a difficult guy. I think I put like 5 hours on him. Ishin is harder than Frida. I don't know. I think Sister Frida's second phase is such a wild card. It's like, it makes you forget everything, and then you go into the third phase and you're like kind of scared. Yeah, fighting the women and elderly is just hard as shit, turns out. Alright, next up. Best indie game. We played a lot of awesome indie games this year. Metal Garden. No, I'm Not a Human. I would be lying if I didn't say that No, I'm Not a Human was the most fantastic indie game we played. It had so much to it. So much more than I even streamed. Like, I could do a whole other stream and do, like, all the other endings that I didn't get. It was awesome. And the ending surprised me. It was like the craziest ending I've ever seen for a psychological horror game. Crazy. Insane. Best Souls-like. Now, we played Another Crab's Treasure, we played Bloodborne, and we played Sekiro. We didn't get to Lies of P this year, but we played a lot of great Souls-likes. And the one that shocked me the most, and the one that I had the most fun playing, well, I had the most fun playing this game, but it was also, like, at some points, just, like, so painful. So physically painful. And it's gotta be Sekiro. Sekiro is so great. Sekiro, the S do not represent, it's not a Souls-like, it is a Souls. She gets her flowers later. Don't worry, don't worry. But Sekiro genuinely blew me away. Like, Sekiro, the story is interesting. All the characters were awesome. Some of the fights were really, really awesome. Once I got past the Bing Bong Man and Lady Butterfly, I understood what the game was about. And from that point, like, that's pretty good. That shit pretty good. That shit pretty good. That shit pretty good. Oh! This is the Allison spotlight. Okay, these are Allison's favorites. Well, actually, this is Allison's favorite game I played on stream. And Allison's favorite was Dark Souls 3. Because she, you know, she had her shining moment. She had her shining moment. Like, come on. She got the carry. Yeah, she was like, of course she loves the game that she carried. Like, come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. And then these are some of Allison's special mentions. Pay attention for real. Allison's favorite games of 2025 were Fields of Mystria, Project Zomboid, and then she really enjoyed Mass Effect, specifically Mass Effect 2. All right. Costume of the year. Okay. This is the part where you get to vote on costume of the year. We have, of course, the Estus Flask. We have Bald, Patches. And then we have the crab costume that was very brief during Sekiro that we never spun. Patches. The Estus looks so good. Bald. Patches by a country mile, I fear. It has to be Estus, no contest. When did you dress as a crab? Don't worry, it's coming. Patches. Estus. Can we vote for the worst? You can vote for the worst, sure. I am Patches, get your cock out. Should we have a runoff? It seems like Patches and Estus. Let's have a runoff. Okay, hold on. Let me get the technology here. How do I make a poll? Manage poll. New poll. Best, let's see, costume of the year. Okay. Costume of the year. We have Estus, Patches, UICO. Alright, you have 2 minutes. Vote on your phone. How do I do this shit? Oh. Whoa, okay. Estus, wait, Estus? Estus winning by a country mile? I wouldn't have predicted that. I'm Patches, show me your poll. I'm voting illegally in 3 states. It's Ferris, thank you for the resub. It looks like Estus. Estus is holding strong, too. What does GYCO mean? Get your cock out. Joe Biden is paying for me to vote for Estus. The Estus dibs have rigged it, the mail-in vote. It looks like Estus. I don't think it's moving. I think Estus is winning. Alright, Estus it is. Estus it is. I'm kind of surprised by that. It just goes to show you how Allison's craftsmanship really won the day there. Okay, now I have to drag the award over to Estus. Okay, then I have to figure out how to present the PowerPoint again. Okay. Nemnem, thank you for the resub, and Jugger Marco, thank you for the prime. Alright. We have a winner. It's the Estus Flask for costume of the year. Allison's craftsmanship, Allison's heart, Allison's love, Allison's sweaty fingerprints. All on that shit. And it paid off. It paid off. She's stacking awards this year. Stacking awards. I went bald and I didn't even win. These awards are rigged, man, I'm telling you. All right, Song of the Year. You all get to vote once again. Now, the Song of the Year nominees are number 1, Twilight of the Gods, also known as Penis Galore. Number 2, Girl in the Tower. And number 3, Battle Torno, which is the Backshot Knights song. Between these three, you have to pick. I'm seeing lots of Girl in the Tower. Girl in the Tower. I'm an animation student. Was wondering if I could animate some of your Dark Souls gameplay. You can do whatever you want with it, brother. Go crazy on that shit. But I would love the link to it, to see it after you're done. If that's cool with you. Girl in the Tower. Girl in the Tower. Backshot Knight. No fart loop. Girl in the Tower. It's unanimously Girl in the Tower. I'm seeing nut hobbit sex. Okay, that's a strain. Maybe that one could be 2026. Hold out hope for hobbit sex in 2026. Girl in the Tower for sure. Please tell me what to do. Girl in the Tower. Girl in the Tower. There's so many Girl in the Tower. This is surprising. Girl in the Tower. 2 votes Backshot Knight. It's all Girl in the Tower. It's a Girl in the Tower sweep. Penis Galore. I'm still traumatized from the Lost Center fight. Yeah, Backshot Knight is a great song. After 10 plus hours of Girl in the Tower, it's hard to forget, yeah. Also, can we talk about how when I beat Orphan of Kos, I literally beat it right before the drop in Girl in the Tower? It was, come on. That was scripted. That was scripted and pure cinema. Actual cinematic moment. Okay, it seems like it's not close. Girl in the Tower is 1. Huge Girl in the Tower sweep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable sweep for Girl in the Tower. Okay. Girl in the Tower is Stockholm Syndrome. All right, here we go. Our Song of the Year is Girl in the Tower. Now, there is an opposing category. It's Worst Song of the Year. And the nominees for Worst Song of the Year are also Girl in the Tower, Billiards 2008, and Crazy Bus. Girl in the Tower. Girl in the Tower can't win both best and worst. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. Can I play them? For sure. Okay, here we go. I will play Worst Song of the Year nominees. We'll start with Billiards 2008, just so you can, you know, I feel like you need a palate cleanse with Billiards 2008. This is Billiards 2008. This is your Worst Song of the Year nominee, Billiards 2008. It's not great. Turn it up. My ears. Yeah, it's not the best one. That's awful. Very 2008. There was a financial crisis. Okay, that's Billiards 2008. Here's Crazy Bus. For your consideration. The way it starts. The way it starts is so good. I'm scared. This is just sound. It is just sound. Yeah, this is that's a banger. All right, Girl in the Tower. I would love it if Girl in the Tower won Best and Worst Song. I feel like she deserves it after all. All right, let's skip to the best part. Here we go. Sing along if you know the words. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. This smacks. Gotta be Crazy Bus. Please tell me what to do, Girl in the Tower. All right. Let's vote. Worst song of the year. New poll. Worst song of the year. Crazy Bus. Billiards. I spelled it wrong. Girl in the Tower. Girl in the Tower, get your cock out. Here we go. All right, poll is live. You may now vote for your worst song of 2025. How do I view? Oh, I can just view it in the thing. Like, that's cool. Crazy Bus doesn't qualify as a song. It really doesn't. It's really not much of a song, if you think about it. All right, here we go. It feels like the Charlie Kirk song. Don't say that about Girl in the Tower. Don't say Girl in the Tower sounds like We Are Charlie Kirk. I hope they won an Emmy for this song. You gotta wonder, did they? I checked this guy's Spotify one time. I think he has like 100,000 or more monthly listeners. Kirk in the Tower, not Kirk in the Tower. All right, Girl in the Tower does it. Girl in the Tower goes 2 for 2 as both the 2025 Song of the Year and Worst Song of the Year. A generational year for Girl in the Tower. Haters stay pressed. Girl in the Tower is the worst and also the best. Song of the Year and Worst Song of the Year. Incredible. 2025 was a weird year for songs. Kirk in the Tower, man. All because of you. I genuinely, I hope my one singular impact on this world is that hold on. This song, Twilight of the Gods, if you go to this song on YouTube, some of the comments are penis galore. That is my one contribution to this world. And that's all I got. Billiards is the Jill Stein. All right. That's enough out of you, Girl in the Tower. Okay. Kind of a dramatic song. Honestly, take it back to Wii Sports Resort. That was kind of a vibe. All right. Next. This category is Best Chat Message of the Year. There have been great chat messages. So many good ones. But here's the one that I might remember until I die. Are we ready? I'm married, so all I do is pay with tongue. That's a chat message of the century, perhaps. What an incredible chat message. Nothing but respect for my goat. S tier message. We need to see more of these in 2026. That one was legendary, yeah. Of all times, perhaps. Who said it? I don't know. Hoping goat comes forth. That was learned about breasts, whoa? Goat. This is their legacy. All they do is pay with tongue. The waiter comes over to get out the check. Their wife gets out Apple Pay. They get ready for later. Their show is later. Their show is later. All right, next. Gooby of the Year. Now, as you all know, I have two cats, Pickle and Gooby. So this award goes out to the Gooby of the Year, which of course is Pickle. Pickle, congratulations! You won Gooby of the Year, Pickle! Incredible. That's crazy. How did she do that? How did she even do that? Huge upset. Incredible upset. Literally at the 99-yard line, Pickle swoops in, takes his own award from him. Just kidding. He also wins. Gooby also wins Gooby of the Year. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so cute. Parents when they say they don't have a favorite kid. The prediction markets could never have predicted it. Pickle as Gooby of the Year. Absolutely insane. Gooby! They both win Gooby of the Year. Come on, they can't just win. One can't just win Gooby of the Year. He seems lost. He's always lost. Congrats, Gooby. Speech, please. I don't know where he is. Maybe he'll come grace us with his presence eventually. We'll get a speech. Gooby! This is my crow that I had of Eileen the Crow, but he just thinks it's his baby now. It has this long ass string that comes out of its head, and that's because he gives it baths. He literally thinks this is his like son or something. It's the closest he can get to going back to the wilderness. Yeah, he's adopted this being as his son. My grandson. That is my grandson. As beautiful as he is. He'll never know the ocean. I don't think Gooby wants to know anything about the ocean. He's got anxiety. Alright, next game of the year. Highly awaited. We have played a lot of video games this year. A lot of video games. We played Bloodborne. Marathon the shit out of that. We played Sekiro. We played Another Crab's Treasure. All three of the main Dark Souls trilogy. Of course, No, I'm Not a Human gets a nod because, like, that was a fucking fantastic game. But these are your nominees for Game of the Year. What should my reveal song be? Hold on. I need a reveal. I should have thought this through. What's a good reveal song? Maybe this? No. Not enough build up. Ooh, yeah. All right. I don't think we're getting Elden Ring in December. The winner. Actually, hold on. No, I feel like it's only gonna be this. Hold on. Brain blast. The game of the year for 2025, a year where I discovered the things that Souls games can make you feel. I felt every spectrum of humanity, from the highest highs to the lowest lows. I felt everything in between. And the game that started it all, the game that wins Game of the Year for me, is Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 remastered for the PlayStation, for the Xbox, for the Fartbox, for the PC. What a game. What a game, dude. Come on. Come on, what a game. And the Switch. That's Dark Souls 1, baby. The things that I feel about this game could go in a novel. Like, this game is so beautiful, so fun. It introduced me to these games, and I could not be more appreciative for this game. It's awesome. Who do you think you are? I am as Dark Souls. Isn't that a screenshot from Dark Souls 3? Is it? I thought it was the killing of the world. Shows what I know. Dark Souls 2 snubbed again. Dark Souls 2 might have been the runner-up. We don't even know. We don't even know. I love Dark Souls 1 puts a picture from Gale's Arena. Hey, chill with that. Hey, my culture's not your costume. Hey, hey, chill with that. And guess what? To top it all, Fat Taint will be back in 2026. Fat Taint is coming back in 2026. Be aware and rest assured, he's coming back. He's not done yet. Average Avengers post-credit scene. I'm not leaving. That's Fat Taint. Older, wiser, fatter. That's what I'm saying. Fat Taint will be back. Will Fat Taint be in Avengers Doomsday? Fat Taint will be in Avengers Doomsday. He's the one that causes it. Is that how it works? No way it could get any fatter. It could. It can, and it will get fatter. I'm predicting triple digits for Elden Ring gravity? There's no way. I don't think there's enough gravity in the game. Like, is there more gravity in Elden Ring? Like, what does that even mean? Instead of like 9.8 meters per second squared, it's like 18. You fall at a faster rate? Like what? Alright, I think that's the end of my PowerPoint. 16 times the gravity. Great grandson of Roger back and forth. Okay, I think that's the end of my PowerPoint. Yeah, that is the end of my PowerPoint. PowerPoint of the year goes to this PowerPoint. Thank God. Alright, that's it. That's our awards. That's our awards. Graphic design is my passion. Alright, chat. I offer you two roads. There are two roads. There are two wolves in front of you today. We can either A, start Lies of C, or we can B, watch some videos. I have two videos that have been like rotting in my watch later, and I will show you what they are. The videos that have been rotting in my watch later are odd and obscure things in Dark Souls, which I want to watch, and 50 things you missed in Sekiro. So those are your options. We can either watch these two videos or we can play Lies of C. No, not Lies of, no, not that. Just one or the other. One or the other, not both. The reason I offer you the videos is because I don't have that much time today, and I would like to do Lies of P on a day when I have a lot of time, but did you watch the Dark Souls 1 dumb shit guides? What is that? Sounds awesome. Videos. Yeah, I was thinking we might could start Lies of P tomorrow and do like all day Lies of P. And then I think going forward, I want to do like one kind of side quest stream a week. So like either like Variety Thursdays or Variety Fridays. One day of the week just be like Variety side quest. And then we'll work on Lies of P. And then we also have... I have so many ideas for like different challenge runs. So I want to do a lot of Souls challenge runs this year, and obviously the Elden Ring marathons. Any place we can throw in suggestions for side quests. Yeah, I would love to hear suggestions for side quests. My current, okay, hold on. Let me get a little thinking song going on. This is not that. Maybe this song. So here are kind of some things I have in the pipeline. I don't think I have a good consolidated list. So here's kind of what I have. I want to do a Dark Souls 1 randomizer and a level 1 run in one. So I would do like a Dark Souls 1 randomizer, but I can't level up. I want to do there's a thing you can do with like Archipelago where you can put a bunch of games together. So I wanted to put Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 together in one randomizer. And then I wanted to put every single Souls game together in one randomizer. And then I also wanted to do like, if I die, I start a new Souls game. So like if I die in Dark Souls 1, I spin a wheel. And then like whatever, if it picks Bloodborne, if it picks Lies of P, then I go play that one. I also have been like watching a lot of Minecraft content. Like I've been watching like Minecraft speedruns, so I kind of want to beat Minecraft hardcore. Then I thought it would be fun if like me and Allison played hardcore, but we shared a health bar, because Allison doesn't know anything about Minecraft. So I was thinking maybe that is like a side arc. Could be fun. It literally Allison has no concept of Minecraft. Minecraft, like, she thought there were no enemies in Minecraft. She thought it was just like little guys. I'm like, this is so scary. You gonna get into speedrunning? I'm open to that. Cause like the MCSR stuff looks fun. I was watching Small Ant do MCSR. There aren't any enemies in Minecraft. So true. So true. Yeah. Allison has very little concept of Minecraft. But I thought it would be fun to do like a Minecraft hardcore, and then I don't look up anything and I just try to beat it like as an idiot that I am currently now. Beating the Dark Souls trilogy in 6 hours? How is this possible? How can a human do such? Is Demon Souls on the cards for 2026? Yes, I will have to do research about like stream ends when I beat Minecraft hardcore. I could go crazy. I'm open to that. I've never actually beaten Minecraft. But I've played it. Like the last time I played was in 2020. Was Arctic Eggs on the ranking list? I think I played Arctic Eggs in 20... When did I play Arctic Eggs? Yeah, I'll have to figure out Demon Souls. Demon Souls... I think it'll be like kind of like once we beat Lies of P, it'll either be Demon Souls or Elden Ring Marathon, and there may be a period where I just do like Dark Souls 1 randomizer, Dark Souls 2 randomizer. Stream ends when Allison beats Minecraft. It might be 10 years. We might never get the stream key back. Have I played any Resident Evil? I have not, but I got Resident Evil 4 in the Steam sale. There's also that. We're never getting Elden Ring. We are getting Elden Ring. Bloodborne video is monumental, by the way. Thank you. Dude, the Bloodborne video took so long. That thing took a long time. We've started doing like a speedrun timer clock on how long it takes to edit. It took Allison 30 hours to rough cut it. I think total it was probably like 60 hours of like work on that video. Elden Ring in December 2027. Oh, I also want to do, I want to do, like, how far can you get in, like, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 without dying? And also finish my Deathless, Sekiro run. Where can I give you the link to the animation I make when you get around to it? Probably here. I think you can send links in Twitch chat. So however you have it as like an unlisted YouTube video or whatever, you could just send a link in Twitch chat. I don't know if YouTube chat lets you send links. Have I played Baldur's Gate? Yes. Well, I've played Baldur's Gate 3. played Baldur's Gate 3. I was a druid my first playthrough, and then I was a barbarian. And Karlach, ma'am. I send fishing links here all the time. Okay. YouTube chat moment. Links get auto-modded? They shouldn't. Yeah, I've never played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, so that could be an idea. I also have like every Fallout game. I would love to play like Fallouts 1 and 2. Would love to play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I've also only ever played Final Fantasy 1, so I'd love to play Final Fantasy 7. I'd love to play, what is it game? Chrono Trigger? You wouldn't survive those games? Puzzle games? Oh, I had an idea, for like a marathon, but it's like, the marathon ends when I beat a puzzle game. Because I hate puzzles. Oh, idea, play Elden Ring. Wait, that's an awesome idea. Wait, that's a great idea. I should do that. I should 100% do that. That'd be awesome. Until I beat Tetris. Didn't it take that one guy like a billion years to do that? Ocarina of Time playthrough win. I actually do want to play Ocarina of Time because I want to do a stream like for my birthday where I play every single game that came out the year I was born. Like, the Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3, you literally approach her and are like, hey, this may sound crazy, but like, what if we win against everything that's ever existed? And she just says, yeah, sure. And she helps you. Like, that's crazy. That is a ride or die. That is a ride or die. He put you on wife support. Yeah, and feel free to kill me, by the way. Like, that's crazy! She really is on wife support.
Stop yorking us on Elden Ring.
I'll never stop jorking on Elden Ring. One thing about me is I'm permanently jorking on Elden Ring. All right, let's watch some videos. Okay, chat. I have a video that I saw recommended to me on YouTube. And I put it in my watch later, and I've put it off and put it off and put it off, and I want to watch it. It's called Odd and Obscure Things in Dark Souls. And Dark Souls is an incredible game, and I want to know everything about her. So show me everything.
Dark Souls is a weird game.
It is a weird game.
You play as a being in the limbo that lies in the area between life and death. You're simply known as undead. Your humanity can be boiled down to just a simple consumable, with little more meaning than souls or your stamina bar. There's a lot of other oddities that pervade this game. Some that make sense in the full context of the game, and others that, even entrenched in the entirety of lore.
Yeah, I feel like this thing was just glanced over. Like, what is this thing? This thing legitimately looks like a persona. Like, what was this supposed to be even? Well, I guess, is it supposed to be like the remnants of everyone who died when they flooded New Londo? Nasty, massive, gross, goopy guy. They drown all the people. It's supposed to be beautiful. Please be kind. Okay, you're right. You're right. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you know what? I'll behold her. Goopy Award. Yeah, this is Goop of the Year. Goop of the Year 2025. Yeah, this thing was crazy. And it was like just there. It would just be in random corners in New Londo.
Children are simply bizarre.
That's Keith.
think most people watching know vagrants exist. These creepy little crab guys with tendrils coming out of them.
What is that?
Probably the rarest enemies in Dark Souls due to the weird way they spawn. For those who don't know, evil vagrants
Looks like a
spawn after
mod.
losing a blood stain with 5 or more humanity, and good vagrants spawn if the player leaves certain items on the ground and reloads the area. This sends an item drifting into other players' worlds, and after drifting through 10 of them, it'll become a
You've never seen that enemy once. I also have never seen this enemy. It's called a vagrant.
good vagrant.
It's a Dark Souls 3 reference because they got crabs in Dark Souls 3. You found a couple of those. Happens more on
Just by the
remastered.
nature of how this mechanic works, most players go multiple playthroughs without ever seeing a single vagrant, and in the Prepare to Die edition at least, it's no longer possible for new ones to spawn. These are cool and all, but again, not very niche, and I have some other enemies
Not very niche. I feel like that's very niche. I feel like this is incredibly niche. Happens a lot more on PC now when everyone has like 99 humanity. So it happens when you lose a bloodstain with a lot of humanity. So basically you're like donating random shit to another person's game. Essentially you're just like donating your crab. Here's my crab. If it's online only, then I'll explain because you played off. Oh yeah, it's online only for the one type. So then when you kill the enemy, it drops whatever you had. It doesn't show up for most people, even on several playthroughs. Not very niche. Well, that has me excited then, because I feel like we're literally 1 minute in, and he's already shown me some shit that I could have never even thought of. Like what's gonna be the next 11 minutes?
that I favor a bit more.
Ham Slamage, thank you for the prime. I love Twitch priming to Twitch streamer Courtney too. That's my paid chatter. Hey, that's my paid chatter. Your check is in the mail. It's on the way.
Darkroot Garden holds a handful of strange enemies I like a lot. To start, there's these weird two-headed
Dude, Tree Lizard's got an insane intro. Like, wait a minute.
enemies I like a lot. To start,
What a crazy intro for tree lizards. That's sick.
there's these weird two-headed tree lizards which I remembered as being part of the possessed trees, but it turns out
I think I only like accidentally killed these. Yeah, they dropped the vermifuge. The something vermifuge. So is the lizard's head is going in and coming out of the tree.
they're their own unique enemies. There's only 2 of them in the entire game as far as I know, and their poison bite has the strongest poison effect in the game. Tied with
They
the
can bite
Sanctuary
you?
Guardians. They only have like 1 attack, and before you approach them, they just idle almost motionlessly hanging off the tree. You can actually knock them off the tree, and the little freak will start jumping around, and you can see its whole model.
The little freak.
It gains a few new attacks once it's on the ground. Look at this one where it attacks you standing behind it.
Ooh, wait, that's fucking cool. Wait, that's fucking cool. That he can attack you behind him.
It's on the
That's
ground.
sick.
Look at this one where it
This game is so crazy. The fact that they put so much care and consideration into this one random enemy, which there's only 2 of in the game, and they just sit on a tree, and there's like 0 chance that you'll even notice them. Well, not 0, but a very small percentage chance that you'll notice them.
attacks you standing behind it. The so-called frog rays are a little
Frog
odd, too.
rays!
They literally only appear in this one area in the Darkroot Garden clumped together. These attacks are mostly just flailing their tongue at you, but there's the rare attack that you can only see if you leash one of them to some water. Once they're on the water, they'll stop using their legs to crawl around, and it looks like they just start gliding. The rare attack is when they spit this gross sludge. The possessed trees I mentioned earlier are also bizarre. They're not really enemies, more just like a hurdle you have to kill to bypass. They don't have any attacks and they just kind of move around. The big cats are really weird too. There's only 3 in the entire
Fuck the cats. Fuck the cats, seriously. The cats are like the worst. I don't think I beat a single one. I got shit on and shit on and shit on by these guys. I think I got shit on so bad by these cats that actually none of it made it into the video. Because there was just no point. I just literally kept getting fucking beat up by the cats.
Entire game, and if you run into their aggro range, you'll usually get ganked pretty hard. Their movesets are way more brutal than you would expect.
Now, why would he backshot that
making
mushroom?
them a huge
That mushroom-
pain in the ass to fight.
The mushroom is not even a part of this. Like, the mushroom was not in this conversation at all, and he just
They're way
fucks
more
the shit.
brutal
Like,
than you would
why?
expect from looking at them.
Mushroom was
Making
just
them a huge pain in
chilling.
the ass to fight. After you kill them, you can jump up on the left.
The living tree tries to trap you when you're not looking. That's crazy. The mushroom had it coming. He didn't. He actually didn't. Is Dark Souls 3 everything I missed online? It is. It is a video. I can't remember what I called it. Probably it took me 8 billion zillion hours to beat Dark Souls 3. Maybe he was doing it for the iframes. I don't care what he was doing it for. That mushroom was minding his own business. That mushroom was chilling. That mushroom had nothing going on. Nothing going on. He was just chilling.
Side to where they spawn. We weren't supposed to get up here, so obviously there's not much to be seen. Back in the day though, you could have harassed invaders from up here. I guess you still could in Remastered. I doubt from patched it. The jump is kind of a pain in the ass though. The New Londo Ruins houses the Massive Souls, a disgusting amalgam that lurks under the flooded waters, only visible when strained. I tend to go straight from draining the ruins to the Four Kings, so coming across these guys is pretty rare for me. They have an attack similar to the Frog Rays, but this one coats you in goo that slows you down.
You can become a goo man. That's awesome. That never
also
happened to me.
these
Wait! Black Halberd! Black Knight Halberd
Goals
mentioned.
down here called Wisps. They're only found here and the catacombs, and just float up to you and explode.
Oh yeah, fuck
Not
those
much
guys.
to these guys. Finally, the
Not much
Banshees
to
are
them.
interesting.
Not much to them until they knock you off the world. And then you fall down. And then all of a sudden there's a Black Knight there.
They spawn in holding babies to their chests, and they even have a
They have a
unique weapon
baby?
they can drop.
I didn't know they had a
Unique
baby.
weapon they can drop.
Wait, Bloodborne mentioned.
They spawn in holding babies to their chests, and they even have a unique weapon they can drop.
I had no idea she had a baby.
Their moveset has them shooting lightning at you from their babies for some reason, and a short range melee attack if you get too close.
Lightning baby? Wait, lightning baby? Orphan of Kos mentioned.
This is probably relatively common knowledge compared to some things in this video, but you can attack the ghost down here without the consumable if you get cursed by Seath or Basilisk.
Really?
Also, there's this pervert-ass hollow down here lounging around. He's surrounded by
Why is he a
others
pervert?
bashing their own heads in and completely losing it.
He's just chilling.
He's just cooling, admiring the view. On his popular loner type shit for real. You can deflect the Four Kings' homing attack with the Dragon Roar or any force spell. You can deflect most projectiles in the game with these actually. After you kill the Four Kings, if you go talk
Wait, you can deflect with what?
projectiles in the game with these. You can deflect most projectiles in the game with these actually. After you kill the Four Kings, if you go talk to Ingward, he'll get sent to Firelink.
Magnificent.
This little freak, love it.
Hello. The sunlight made me wince, but now I've come back to this.
How do you get this guy to go to Firelink? Force spells. Force spells can deflect.
You can deflect most projectiles in the game with these actually. After you kill the Four Kings, if you go talk to Ingward, he'll get sent to Firelink.
I hadn't even thought about talking to him after the Four Kings. I'm a terrible person, maybe. I can't believe I just, like, yeah, you've outlived your usefulness. You taught me how to drain the fucking area. No, I don't care about you. It's okay, no one does. That's so sad. Left his ass in the human sewer. Didn't even consider- I didn't consider his feelings.
Magnificent. Oh, hello. The sunlight made me
He's so
wince,
cute with it.
but now I've come back to
He said,
this.
"Oh, hello."
Oh. So what brings you here? I will help you in any way I can.
Wait, he's cute with it.
Kex's just like normal up here. You can buy Dispel Curse and Transient Curses from him, but as far as I know, he's the only NPC that will stay at Firelink for your whole playthrough. You
Wait!
get other ones to stay if you just don't continue their quest lines, but for someone like Laurentius or Big Hat Logan, they'll eventually leave if you actually interact with them enough. Ingward's quest line, however, is effectively finished, so
He's
he has
just
no reason to
chilling.
leave.
He's retired. He
This is
retires to
something I really
Firelink.
like. It makes going back to Firelink feel like you have a good buddy you can rely on.
He may
I
have
always
murdered
forget
thousands,
about
but
this
he's baby
Crystal
girl.
Knight
He's
a
baby
little
girl.
before Seath. They're the only one in the game and is a beast at parrying.
Yeah, that guy fucks.
Their moveset is basically just the Crystal Straight Swords attacks. I always felt like From should have had more of these in the game. I think their design is really cool. The crystals growing out of their arms, and especially the ones coming out of their head, are so sick to me. Also, continuing up the path, you can exit Seath's fog wall if you just turn around after entering it.
What? What?
There's no other fog wall in the game that you can do this with. Obviously though, you can't progress without glitches if you don't get killed by them, so it doesn't really serve any purpose. Once
That's
do get
crazy. You
killed,
can
though,
just
you
leave.
get sent to the prison. Usually warping is disabled down here, but if you just rest at the bonfire through the bars, you can warp like normal.
What? That's insane. You can literally just. Hey, Seath. I was like, nah, I'm actually good.
One of my favorite areas of
That's
the entire
crazy!
game is the section before the Crystal Cave that leads to Seath's actual encounter. It's very similar to the area before the Hydra and the Darkroot Garden, even carrying over the same types of enemies. Well, minus the big one.
Hydra!
These guys are cool, but the best part about here is the general area. It's something so sloppily put together. I love the repeating textures and the goofy ass trees that are placed almost without thought. I think most players probably run straight through this area, beelining straight to Seath, at most making a stop at Siglin.
I mean, yeah, it's your backyard. You don't put like flowers and shit in your backyard. Why would the castle backyard need flowers, you know? Like, you put the flowers and the topiaries and the bushes in the front yard. What do you put in your backyard, really? Other than, like, your grill? A chair. How would Seath even plant flowers? He gets the gardener to do it. That's the gardener. The gardener's got to worry about that.
Because you rescued me. Why, thank you.
Maybe getting the trunk
A beautiful night trapped in a piss golem. That is an idea. That is an interesting thing to put in your backyard. Really a conversation piece. Like a giant piss-colored obelisk creature in your backyard. People come over. They're having a burger. They're like, so... what's up with that? And you're like, well, let me tell you. It's actually a knight from a faraway land in search of her father that I've encased in crystals. And she's just back here. Should we free her? Should we let her out? I don't, that's not up to me. Necessarily.
that's in the corner here. I think that's kind of the intention of the area though. I doubt From intended players to spend much time here. They'd probably all see the big crystal cave in front of them and be like, holy
Oh, this old thing? I've had that for years. Actually came with the house. It actually did come with the house. Let her out? I don't know. You gotta ask the gardener. The Darkroot gardener.
shit, and run there immediately. That being said though, there is also the crystal armor set that's here, which you already know
What?
how I feel about. Big empty areas like these remind me of games like Classic WoW. Huge expanses of land, sparsely populated by only the occasional patch of grass, grove of trees, or mob. It also brings to mind an N64 game called Quest 64. Something I never even played but just watched a video of in my youth, and for some reason, the graphics and art style left a bizarrely distinct footprint in my mind. You see a lot of stuff like that going out of bounds in some games. There's a bunch of ways to go out of bounds in this game, but that's kind of out of the scope of this video. Moonlight Butterfly regenerates health when it lands on the bridge. It makes sense, I mean they had to have a reason for it to come down in range of melee players, but it's not something I ever noticed due to how little health the boss has. Somewhere else that I wouldn't say I love, but certainly always interested me, is this room where you get the large Divine Ember. Like what's the intended route here really?
Ooh.
Just run in, grab the item and die? Take a bow and shoot the enemies who, by the way, are surrounded by darkness? There's so many skeletons here that any sort of melee approach is completely unreasonable.
I don't think I found this area. This seems like a nightmare though.
There's a rare interaction that you can get with Lautrec if you free him. Start Rhea's questline, kill the Capra demon, then talk to Petrus until he mentions that Rhea has gone missing.
You again? Me? I've become separated from my lady.
If you go
Talk
to
to that guy.
Lautrec, he'll tell you what happened for the price of a level up.
Pay for a useful tip? A wise choice indeed.
I never thought about the fact that you could give other people souls. Like, yeah, you can buy items with souls, but you could just straight up give other people souls.
Maiden Tharaland and her followers recently arrived in this land, but she became stranded deep below the catacombs.
Is he the only person that isn't a vendor or isn't a firekeeper and charges you for souls? I'm trying to think of anyone else that's like, give me some souls. Give me some souls and I'll do something for you. I literally can't. I don't even think Patches does that. That guy also does it. Yeah, I was trying to think across all Souls games. Because most people are either vendors or the ladder guy. See, but you pay him for the ladder. So does that count if you're paying him for the ladder? Because you're technically paying for him to make it? Before you answered, did Elden Ring happen? Yeah, I've not played Elden Ring yet. Okay, so maybe this concept reappears in Elden Ring. You're paying Lautrec for info. But essentially you're just giving them to him without like a physical product behind it. Laddersmith gives you a miniature. There is an Elden Ring. Petrus asked for souls for info. Souls is currency. Yeah, but I had never thought that you could just like give it to somebody. You pay the lady in Dark Souls 2 to move the column. Yes. Souls can be traded for goods and or services. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, people do extort you for souls occasionally, but pretty rare. Sigbrow is also a currency, for sure. Sigbrow is a what is it called? What is it called? What is it called? I can't remember what it's called. I don't fuck with crypto. I can't remember what people say crypto is like a no, it's like gold standard. It's like separate from the money. No, it's not fungible. It's maybe it is non-fungible. Decentralized fiat currency. It's a decentralized currency. Sigbrow is a decentralized currency. Also, Aiko, Incam, and Nakisadev think of the primes. You can go fund yourself. Gwen literally uses it. Uses Sigbrow? He uses Sigbrow as a Sigbrew? How do you pronounce it? Is it Sigbrew? Pickle! Hi, Pickle. Brow. Does Gwen mint his face on every soul? Oh, an Acronaut! They give it the 5 gifted. Holy shit. Killing with the first brew. W, they give it the gifted. Yeah, fuck ice. Here.
Her followers either fled or were reduced to hollows, leaving Maiden Thurland all alone. Not a bad tip, huh? A Nubar cleric would be
Doesn't Patches do this too? But Patches doesn't charge you money. He just gives you tips. He gives you tips if you buy items from him, right? Yeah, Patches just gives them for free, Loki. Well, I think you have to buy an item. But at least you get an item.
complete with humanity.
Now you can go back to Petrus and he'll confess his betrayal.
Oh, hello there. Have you spoken with Sir Lautrec? Splendid. In the depths of the catacombs,
He confesses?
Milady slipped off the giant's coffin and into a hole.
Slipped!
Her two companions are no longer human, and the lass weeps in solitude. Right now, you could do as you please with her. The poor little purebred is entirely helpless.
What the fuck?
Did you know that the kick animation changes
Folds under zero pressure. Yeah, he's just like, I heard you talk to Lautrec. Anyway, here's my whole scheme. Here's my whole scheme.
if you have the Cestus equipped? Or that the orange chartering adds
You can
fire
kick?
damage to your kick. Changes if you have the Cestus equipped. Or that
That's
the
cool.
orange chartering adds fire
like a
damage
knee.
to your kick. This also equipped. Did you know that the kick animation
That's crazy. It's like a little knee. Jujutsu Bro's gonna go crazy off this one.
changes if you have the Cestus equipped?
Yeah, Petrus is
Or
gross.
that the orange chartering adds fire damage to your kick. This
Fire
also
damage?
shows that Solaire has the orange chartering on. Because if he kicks you, you'll take some fire damage.
Whoa!
Demon Fire Sage is kind of a shitty boss. Just another reskin to Silent Demon. Fortunately,
Yeah, but he blows. He can blow up.
you can use Vow of Silence to cripple its attacks, removing the obnoxious AoE it has.
Dark Souls 1 kick run? Has anyone done that before, actually? Has anyone ever I'm sure someone has successfully done an all kick run. It takes so long, though.
Poison Mist animation was always kind of goofy to me.
They've done every run you can imagine, I'm sure. On a dance mat. Blindfolded. Naked. And bald. Is the Age of Fire just a Ponzi scheme? With their mind.
I didn't really have to do all that. Also, you can turn the spell into a projectile by unlocking. Which is useful, I guess.
With throwing knives.
Well, that's all I got for you folks. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, please comment your thoughts, blah blah blah, who gives a shit. Thanks for watching.
Hell yeah. Dude, that's crazy. The snake and these little guys? These little guys are crazy. The little crabs. The online crabs of items or whatever they are.
Out of them. They're probably the rarest enemies
These guys
in
are
Dark
nuts.
Souls due to the weird way they spawn. For those who don't know, evil vagrants spawn after losing a bloodstain with 5 or more humanity, and good vagrants spawn if the player leaves certain items on the ground and reloads the area.
Wait, when did the
Who
bad
don't
ones
know,
spawn?
evil are the rarest enemies in Dark Souls due to the weird way they spawn. For those who don't know, evil vagrants spawn after losing a bloodstain
Oh,
with
that's-
5
okay.
or more humanity, and good vagrants spawn if the player leaves certain items on the ground and reloads the area.
Okay, understood. Slay. Great video. That was awesome. That was really cool. Illusory Wall has an entire video about vagrants. Leave a thought in the comments. I'll subscribe. Leave one thought. Could be any thought, really, if you think about it. Illusory Wall. Let me look that up. Illusory Wall Vagrants. Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls Dissected number 3 Vagrant Mechanics. Wait, he has so many videos on vagrants. Illusory Wall is great. Dark Souls Dissected. Should we do Vagrant lore or Vagrant mechanics? I guess the lore. That's kind of sick. Zuli is goated. He's a big reason the wikis have the info they do. My goat. I want to know about their lore.
So today I wanted to do something a little different from my usual videos and
It's
engage in
crab
a bit
lore.
of lore speculation. And this is a particular subject I don't think anyone has covered yet, the vagrants of Dark Souls. If you're not already familiar with these rare, mysterious creatures and how they work, I have an older video explaining their mechanics. But there's sort of a broader question about vagrants that I've yet to tackle, which is, what's their deal? Why do they exist, and is there some
Why is he red? Is that a Gravelord servant summoned one? Cause evil. Okay. Oh, there.
Kind of
Yeah,
evil.
there's the evil vagrants and the good vagrants. I'm there. That's a special one. Possibly evil. Well, you would know if you had watched the mechanics video. So true. Got me. I'm skipping videos.
universe explanation for what's going on with them? We don't really have the answers to any of these questions, and to be blunt about it, they literally have no lore at all.
Or do they?
It's over, folks. Go home.
There aren't any item descriptions or dialogue that reference them across any of the Souls games, and to my knowledge, their design concept has never been talked about by the developers. Here's a quick review of every official resource regarding the Vagrants. They were mentioned in the online features section of the game manual, but it was only a vague one-sentence summary of their mechanics. The Future Press guidebook elaborates a little bit more, but it's still just a quick summary of their mechanics, with the only real commentary in here saying that they're essentially just items that have turned into monsters. Now, just in case if you're wondering,
Oh, there were items. That's kind of cool. They're kind of like mimics then.
it might be worth noting that it
Sort
calls
of?
them drift items instead of vagrants, but that's not really something that matters. Vagrant is the name we see in the manual, drift item is what they're called in the guidebook, but internally, actually both of these names show up. When I talk about them, I think it's helpful to specify, as I'll refer to these as evil vagrants, good vagrants, or drift item bags, but it's also not wrong to call those first two things drift items. That is another valid name for them. They also got a small blurb in an IGN interview with the developers, but once again it was just another brief summary of their mechanics. It was really just
guy
nice
is
seeing that
thorough.
among all of the online features, it wasn't stopping to talk about them. Lastly, their concept art was included in the DesignWorks book, but if you were hoping for any revelations from the notes here, there's just some very basic observations about their anatomy. Some of the handwriting was difficult to read, but according to Loki, it says something about a shell, their number of legs, and possibly something about an egg. Which, just by looking at them, I would already describe the good Vagrant as looking like an unhatched egg with legs, while the evil Vagrant is the hatched version. But I suppose it's good to have a little confirmation on the egg theme. But anyways, that's literally every first-hand and important second-hand resource on Vagrants that exists. There's no backstory and no explanation for what the developers were thinking, so where can we go from here?
The developers are basically just, here's a little guy. Here's a little guy. Hope you like him. And it's the same with the lizard. There's like, here's a little guy. He looks awesome. Hope you like him. There's only two ever. He does a lot of poison.
Well, I think we can make some reasonable guesses as to where this all came from, so I'd like to try and explore two topics here.
Filianor's pet vagrant. So the giant egg that Filianor is holding that you touch and then it ends the whole world might be a vagrant? You know what they say? One man's trash is another crab's treasure.
What was the most likely design inspiration for the developers, and what were they thinking in terms of an in-universe justification?
What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Is what I was saying, and worse, when I fought Gravelord Nino.
In a broader sense, we can see that the vagrants resulted from the developers wanting to cram in a bunch of new online features. Something I've written about in the past was how Dark Souls 1 is actually the pinnacle of asynchronous online features out of all of their games. While Demon Souls laid down all of the core components,
They were probably on like 8 cans of Boss Coffee when they thought these up. They hit the rainbow Boss Coffee can and then thought these little guys up.
like co-op, PvP, messages, bloodstains, and ghosts, Dark Souls 1 got really weird with it and added stuff like vagrants, miracle resonance, gravelording, curse statues, and Estus from Kindling. While there's still some cool online stuff unique to later Souls games, they've never gone as all-in as Dark Souls 1 did, making it the height of their experimentation with network features. So on a very basic level, during the development of Dark Souls 1, I just imagine that the developers raised the question, what else can we do? And vagrants were born from that. But I think we can get a little more specific than that, and here's my pitch. I believe vagrants are a direct iteration of Crystal Lizards, and the developers likely thought of them as Crystal Lizards 2.0. Or even more specifically, I believe the Crystal Lizards of Demon Souls were directly forked into 2 different paths.
What is a crystal lizard? Dude, what is
As the
this?
Crystal Lizards and vagrants of Dark Souls. To get the Crystal Lizard similarities out of the way, I'd like to remind everyone that the good vagrants behave exactly like them. They don't have any attacks, they're never hostile. The only thing they do when they see the player is run away and disappear.
Oh, because they're like scuttlebutts.
This similarity might seem lost with the evil vagrants, who don't do that. But you know what they have as an unused attack animation? Disappearing. So, while it's
Okay.
all very Crystal Lizard-like, why do I see this as like a direct fork from Demon Souls, rather than just some weird new tangential thing? To make that make sense, we should review how the Crystal Lizards in Demon Souls were different. In
Demon Souls.
letting a Crystal Lizard get away was much harsher than ever was.
Oh,
in
that's a
Dark Souls.
Demon Souls
When one gets
scuttlebutt.
away, it permanently despawns.
Dude! Wait! The Demon Souls scuttlebutt is so BM. Look at this little asshole. Look at this little asshole. He's literally nanner boo-booing you as he disappears. Look at this little motherfucker. He turns around and emotes on you.
It permanently despawns.
You fucking asshole. Dude. Oh my god. He hits me with that the 9th time and I'm gonna throw my controller. You missed 10 scuttlebutts in a row and guaranteed the controller is
It
gone. Look at
permanently
this.
despawn.
He's emoting on you and they never come back? Perma gone.
In Dark Souls, you can just quit and reload to get one back,
That
which
is
really removed the
so-
sense of urgency in killing them properly. Now, there was a sort of counter system in Demon Souls where every time you killed a boss in that particular world, it would add another Crystal Lizard back to the same spawn location. So you can get them back in the same place a few times.
I like the run
which is
animation in
interesting,
Demon Souls.
But that doesn't change the fact that any specific one that runs away from you is still
They'll only
permanently
respawn if you
lost.
beat a boss.
The developers realized this was perhaps a bit too harsh, so they ditched that system for Dark Souls and made it so that Crystal Lizards respawn. But is that all they did? To me, it really looks like they split them into 2 different directions. You basically got the Crystal Lizards that were more forgiving, and the Crystal Lizard variant that's less forgiving. Ones that do still permanently despawn when they get away, but on top of that, they're a lot rarer because of how they're created. This all makes me wonder if the developers conceived this by imagining what happens when the Crystal Lizards get away. Where are they running off to? Where do they
Okay,
wind
Demon
up?
Souls looks really
What's
cool.
with those sick dance moves? The
Yeah,
idea of
motherfucker.
them jumping into another player's world probably popped up, but being an important source of upgrade materials, they likely understood that they needed to more tightly control their presence in the game. Ditching the despawn and respawn system from Demon Souls, they weren't about to make it so a bunch of extra Crystal Lizards could just start showing up from other players' games. But the thought of these creatures escaping your game to wind up in someone else's was a concept that was too cool to ignore, so they created the Vagrants for that.
Oh, it's so cute. I love its little jump.
And I find it interesting that the Future Press guidebook puts the Crystal Lizards and Vagrants alongside each other, in their own section. It could be a coincidence. If this came about because they decided on making a Rare Creatures section, there's not really anything else you could put in there, so that does already make sense without a deeper connection. But the creation of these guidebooks isn't a completely independent thing. There is some level of communication and resources that come to them from official sources. If they were sent some notes about the Crystal Lizards and Vagrants alongside each other, it could be because they were already grouped together for a reason. At least, it's hard for me to not see it that way at this point, but I suppose that's also how confirmation bias works. To start with, we don't have any good answers as to why a dropped item can eventually turn into a monster. In a fantasy universe full of magic, we don't really need an explanation for that. It's just a thing that can happen, and that's perfectly fine.
Fair and true.
And while I kind of hate to invoke Solaire's catch-all explanation for online interactions, it gives us all of the wiggle room we need to justify their existence.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land.
He's so right.
The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact.
That's all we need to explain how items can travel from one world to another. But can we speculate any further? And yeah, I'm just gonna double down on this whole crystal lizard thing. I think vagrants were would-be crystal lizards that were corrupted by humanity. I know their anatomy appears very different, but hear me out. We don't really know anything about how crystal lizards are born, but there's something still weirdly magical about them with the way they run off and disappear.
Their dads are in Dark Souls 3, and they're big. What about that one? Hear me out, the flow of time is convoluted. Could be. Could be, might be. Might be Solaire.
I don't think they're completely normal animals that just live in the environment, and if that's the case, they might not produce offspring the same way everything else does. I'm basically saying the crystal lizards don't have sex, and this is my grand contribution to Dark Souls lore.
His eyeball. You ever seen this little thing's fucking eyeball? He's not seeing shit with this. He's not seeing shit with this. What a crazy creature. Yeah, I believe that this is not a normal creature in a normal world because this thing, like, natural selection hasn't touched this guy. Natural selection this is natural selection's nightmare. He's not seeing shit with this thing.
So you can see why I don't normally make these videos. Anyways, there is a precedent for upgrade materials being able to turn into a creature over time. That's how the Titanite demons exist. As the description for the Titanite catchpole states, the Titanite demon is a faceless stone monster, born from Titanite slab. That's why they're headless. It's not like their head was cut off and they're undead. It was just never there, and what you see at their neck is most likely the core of the original Titanite slab that spawned them. I think we have something similar going on with the crystal lizards.
Oh my god, he's so
they
cute.
Got a redesign after
Look at his
Demon
little roll.
Souls, where they originally looked more like a normal gecko with a bunch of smaller gems mixed into their scales.
And he's a piece of shit and a motherfucker. I'm not over that animation that he did,
In
by
Dark
the way.
Souls, they got a much more prominent single gem that appears to be growing out of their back. Or perhaps it's the rest of the crystal lizard.
Now that I've seen the eyeball, I can't unsee it. My eyes went instantly right here. It's ruining my immersion. He's ruined Scuttlebutts for me. All I can see is this beady little, tiny little useless eyeball. This eyeball ain't seeing shit. This eyeball hasn't seen anything.
That grew around that upgrade material. So, if crystal lizards are born of items like Titanite demons and vagrants, is there anything else that ties them more closely to vagrants? Well, I've never forgotten this comment from Allison that mentioned how the vagrant looks similar to Filinor's egg from Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Filinor's egg looks a lot like an evil vagrant.
It
That's
does.
to be expected of any egg that's cracked open and has black stuff inside.
Fair.
But in the case of the evil vagrant,
Allison mentioned.
they spawn solely from lost humanity.
Wait, Allison called it. Allison's been a part of the lore the whole time. That's actually crazy. Allison's side gig is actually being on the forefront of Dark Souls lore discoveries. She's actually on the front lines, saying shit like, that shit looks like Filinor's egg. And I bet the crystal lizards don't have sex. And they never will. Miyazaki has Allison on speed dial. So many times she's like, honey, I have to go. I have to take this call. You can't hear any of this. Close your ears. It's Miyazaki.
They only drop humanity items, so whatever that weird dark mass is inside their broken shell has something to do with humanity. So while we're on high alert for being reminded of vagrants here, what does this have to do with crystal lizards?
What does it have to
I
do?
have to credit Seertos from Reddit for bringing this to my attention a bunch of years back, but if you look at the concept art for Filinor's egg, The inside of the egg isn't just some generic black stuff.
It's
Instead, you can see
crystals!
these little bits sticking out, and what might be some gems in the middle.
It's
But these bits
crystals!
sticking out aren't just any random junk.
Source Reddit is crazy, but it's crystals. It's all connected. It's all linked. The crystal lizards don't have sex.
It looks incredibly similar to the transposing kiln. And what is the transposing kiln made out of?
Oh,
It's made out of
crystals!
Several crystal lizards stitched together. You can see it if you look closely at the icon, and also the item description outright states this. So yeah, those are a bunch of crystal lizard legs in there. That's weird. It's difficult to say whether or not the final model in-game stuck to this original concept.
It's
I've seen people
reminiscent.
suggest that it doesn't, as they clearly look pretty different from each other. But if you look closely, there is a piece in here that looks like it might be structured similarly to one of the crystal lizard's feet in the concept art.
Okay,
albeit
maybe.
more smushed into a blackened goo.
Ah,
The
that's a
outer
reach, I
edges
think.
also seem to maintain that sort of ribbed structure we see in the concept art. And instead of light-colored gems, there appears to be a larger, single black gem in the center. Perhaps that's meant to be something like the centerpiece of a crystal lizard? I'm not really sure. But by this point, this design is evocative of both crystal lizards and vagrants, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think they did
Or is
adhere
it?
to the concept art to a certain extent, but just made the whole thing darker and perhaps more corrupted. And bear in mind that Philinor transports you into the far future after you break her egg, where she appears to cradle it and use its remnants somehow. So here's my next dumb-sounding lore pitch, but I'm going to say that Philinor and Ludlith from Dark Souls 3 are hackers, basically.
Okay.
No, I'm not kidding. The Vagrant's ability to travel through time and space seems to be hijacked as some sort of time travel mechanism. And as for the transposing kiln that Ludlith uses to make weapons out of God's souls, bear in mind that it's not all just a matter of vagrants and crystal lizards growing directly around the item that spawned them. The good vagrants have a sort of transposition table that they go through, causing the items to evolve into different things. So whether it's the ability to travel through space-time or have items evolve, Philinor's egg and the transposing kiln seem to tap into the abilities of vagrants and crystal lizards by messing around with them when they're unborn or dead. While this is stuff I thought about on my own, I'd like to link to this great blog post by Anuntrium, which delves deeper into the nature of what's going on with Philinor, and it also recognizes a lot of the same themes here, albeit approaching the subject from a different angle. The Souls Lore Wiki also has a section speculating that the egg is made of crystallized abyss and can control time. While that doesn't have
Okay.
anything to say about vagrants directly, I don't believe this interpretation is mutually exclusive with what I'm suggesting, which is, whatever process that imbues life to upgrade materials to make crystal lizards probably gets hijacked by the darkness of humanity, perhaps like a parasite. It's the evil vagrants that spawn directly from large amounts of lost humanity.
Will this be on the test? I'm saying this shit is crazy. He lost me for a second saying that the shapes inside of her egg were reminiscent of the crystal lizards, but I'm kind of back. I'm kind of back with him. I'm here with the concept art. I don't know that I feel like maybe it's a bit of a reach on the egg, but the transposing kiln definitely has little scuttlebutts in it. For
And bear in
sure.
mind that Philinor transports you into the far future after you break her egg, where she appears
He's also cooking with the fact that time and items are kind of fucked.
to cradle it and use its remnants somehow.
This is all about one little dude. Some people will see one little crab man who transports items to other games and be like, now that's a 30-minute lore video.
So here's my next dumb-sounding lore pitch, but I'm going to say that Philinor and Ludlith from Dark Souls 3 are hackers, basically. No, I'm not kidding. The Vagrant's ability to travel through time and space seems to be hijacked as some sort of time travel mechanism. And as for the transposing kiln that Ludlith uses to make weapons out of God's souls, bear in mind that it's not all just a matter of vagrants and crystal lizards growing directly around the item that spawned them. The good vagrants have a sort of transposition table that they go through, causing the items to evolve into different things. So whether it's the ability to travel through space-time or have items evolve, Philinor's egg and the transposing kiln seem to tap into the abilities of vagrants and crystal lizards by messing around with them when they're unborn or dead. While this is stuff I thought about on my own, I'd like to link to this great blog post by Anuntrium, which delves deeper into the nature of what's going on from a crystallized abyss and can control time.
Okay,
Wiki
well,
also
I'm
themes here.
I skipped 10 seconds of the video, and then the egg is suddenly crystallized abyss controlling the flow of time.
albeit approaching the subject from a different angle. The Souls Lore Wiki also has a
I'll just listen. I thought I could skip it because I already heard it. Turns out I'll just listen. I'll just shut up and listen. The egg is made of abyss and can control time. Sure.
section speculating that the egg is made of crystallized abyss and can control time.
Sure.
While that doesn't have anything to say about vagrants directly, I don't believe this interpretation is mutually exclusive with what I'm suggesting, which is, whatever process that imbues life to upgrade materials to make crystal lizards probably gets hijacked by the darkness of humanity,
Sure.
perhaps like a parasite. It's the evil
Don't we all sometimes get hijacked by the darkness of humanity? I'm saying.
vagrants that
Continue.
spawn directly from large amounts of lost humanity. They're the most overtly corrupt, looking like the scariest monster out of all of them. And they do attack you after all. The good vagrants are less
got a
scary,
vicious
and they spawn from
backhand.
a variety of dropped items, so the relationship to humanity is a bit looser. But they're born from items that humans have dropped, nonetheless. Typically, they're more important items that might be considered precious to someone. For example, the pendant is a possible source of a good vagrant. So these items' past relationship with a human manages to corrupt the crystal lizard process as well, but it makes a more benign monster out of it than the evil vagrant due to being further abstracted from humanity. If you think I've gone too far off the deep end here, I would like to bring up the redesign of the crystal lizards after Demon Souls one more time. If we suppose that there was a purposeful design concept behind the changes here, I already pointed out the larger gem in the middle of their back, but the other biggest design
This guy is distracting me because it looks exactly like the green lizards from Sekiro, and my brain just looks at it and goes, R1, R1, R1 before it poisons you. Hit it before it poisons you. R1. It's like, I'm like seeing a superimposed big red Sekiro circle on it. Like, press R1. Press R1, kill him, he's gonna poison you, kill him.
change is the number of legs they have. In Dark Souls, they now have 8 legs instead. That seems like a very specific change, and it makes them a lot less lizard-like than they used
Dude,
to be.
look at their little paws. Wait, they got little paws. Look at their little paws. Oh my god. They got toe beans. We're having two very different reactions. You guys are saying that's a spider, arachnid. And I'm like, look at his little beans.
What else has 8 legs, you ask?
8 legs and 2 amazing breasts. Lock it in. It's Quelag.
And what else had concept art that made note of its number of legs for some reason? I think you know where this is going.
Okay, never mind. We were we were on two different wavelengths.
In conclusion, I think that everything mysterious about vagrants is better understood by trying to understand their relationship to crystal lizards, both inside the universe and outside of it as well. I couldn't figure out a good spot to stick this in the video, but I also think the vagrant's design is fitting for what they are. If you had to describe this aesthetic, what the heck would you call it?
A crab.
We have a monster with some tricky to describe anatomy. It's got some tendrils. I don't know about you, but it almost feels like it could be a baby of some kind from Lovecraftian lore. And with the whole traveling across parallel dimensions thing, it gives me
Mid-century modern. That guy is... This is a very mid-century modern looking crab animal. I love that he just has like the darkness inside of humanity inside his little egg. But he has these light tendrils coming out, which is the possibility for people to transcend our dark nature.
It gives me some From Beyond vibes as well.
What about that?
Let me
What
know
about
you thought
that?
of the video. Lore isn't my usual thing, and while I'd like to think I came up with some reasonable explanations, feel free to let me know if this went too far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole for you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and doing all of the usual things that help. You can also support me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/illusorywall. An extra special thanks to all of my backers at the Evil Vagrant tier. Basileus, Gary Marshall,
Shout out Gary Marshall. Shout out Gary Marshall. Okay, where's the mechanics video? I did skip the mechanics video. Grave Lording Explained. This guy's grave lording all over the place. What are they called? Vagrants. Vagrant mechanics. Shout out to Gary Marshall. This one's for Gary Marshall.
Hello and welcome to Dark Souls Dissected, a video
Hi,
series
illusory
dedicated
wall.
to unraveling
Everyone
the
wave hi to
mechanics of
illusory
Dark Souls
wall.
1. Today, we'll be talking about vagrants.
I actually waved, what the fuck? As you should, that's illusory wall. Everyone say hi, illusory wall.
Vagrants, also known as drift items, are rare creatures based on other players online losing stuff. The basic idea is that if another player loses a resource in their game, it can be sent over to your game, but it gets transformed into a weird creature along the way. So how do they work? Well, let's get right into it. There are two different kinds of vagrants. We'll start with the evil vagrant. This is a hostile creature that looks sort of like a hatched egg with a crab claw for an arm, insect legs, and some tendrils on top. And inside its core is a sort of black mass, likely intended to represent humanity. It is known to have a dangerous projectile attack that sometimes catches players off guard. But if you see it coming,
Not me, it
deals
wouldn't catch
only
me off
physical
guard.
damage, so it can be easily blocked without any harm done. The evil vagrant also has a melee attack if you get closer, but it's not very dangerous.
Love the backhand this guy has.
They are guaranteed to drop a humanity when you kill them, or a twin humanity, but I'll talk more about that in a moment.
Big, a twin humanity off the guy?
So how do these vagrants spawn? Well, humanity is a sort of underlying theme to these vagrants, so humanity is what causes them. Specifically, they come from the lost bloodstains of other players online. If a player dies and fails to retrieve a bloodstain that has 5 or more soft humanity in it, their game will attempt to send the vagrant to another player online. Now, apart from the player who's targeted being random, there really isn't a randomization aspect to this. If you lose a bloodstain with 5 or more humanity in it, it's a guarantee that your game will try to send an evil vagrant to another player. There have been some misconceptions in the past about what spawns them, like having more.
So this just isn't likely to happen because you're usually not gonna have a shit ton of humanity on yourself when you die.
Humanity will help in some
You
way.
said 1 in
or a large
250
amount of
hours.
Souls, but that's actually not true. Souls aren't a factor at all, and all you need is the 5 humanity. Now sometimes, vagrants will have that dark red color to them, like an invading phantom. Their behavior is the same as the normal vagrants, they just have some buff stats and are guaranteed to drop a twin humanity instead.
They're buffed!
So you might be wondering, what's the difference and how do these ones come about? Well, at some point earlier, it was a normal vagrant. It's just that it's been passed around at least 20 times online, and it starts looking like this.
Whoa!
Yep, you heard right, 20 times. It's kind of crazy. So not only does the bloodstain get sent out to another player's game, but the vagrant itself, if not killed by a player, will get sent out again to other players online.
But it has to live
If it changes
20
hands
times.
20 times or more, that's how it turns into the red version.
That's
so If you ever
crazy.
see this version of the red vagrant, you should feel pretty honored, because it had plenty of opportunities to die before you saw it.
That seems insanely rare. Like, how does that even happen? You said that seriously? Like, that feels really rare. That feels pretty damn rare.
Let's move on to the good vagrant. These are docile vagrants that look underdeveloped compared to the evil vagrants.
He's
Quite
baby.
literally like an unhatched egg this time around. Their behavior is identical to crystal lizards, as they'll never attack you. They'll just run away and disappear. The good vagrants can potentially drop a wide variety of items. Now, if you see a sort of pattern coming here, when I ask what spawns the good vagrants, you might be able to guess that the answer is a variety of items. Various items that are dropped and abandoned by players online could be sent out to other players.
All rings.
But this is where things start to get a little weird.
Okay.
Unlike the evil vagrants, which become an evil vagrant for their first recipient, the various dropped items have a sort of gestation period before they actually become good vagrants. Before they become a good vagrant, they get sent around as what I like to call a drift item bag. When certain items are dropped and abandoned, typically rare items that can't be easily stockpiled without farming, these can be sent out to other players as drift item bags. They appear
You can just
identical
have a
to normal
bag.
dropped item, but they'll sometimes startle or surprise players, because they'll find one when they know they didn't drop an item themselves, so they'll be wondering where the hell it came from. It's not until this drift item bag is passed around 10 times that it finally becomes a good vagrant. So to add yet another layer of complexity to this mechanic, the drift items themselves, and the resulting good vagrants and what they drop, actually go through a sort of metamorphosis. Let's say
That thing has to incubate. You literally have to marinate your drift item bag for it to become a
I
vagrant.
drop a gold coin in my game, then die or reload the area. The recipient of that drift item bag, if they find and pick it up, won't actually find a gold coin in it. Instead, it'll be carrying rubbish.
What?
The resulting good vagrant will drop charcoal pine resin.
Okay.
And if that good vagrant gets passed around enough to become the red phantom version, then it will drop a gold pine resin.
Oh, it gets charged up.
If you'd like to know more, I made a complete table on the wiki that shows what items you can drop to spawn these drift item bags and how they evolve along the way.
I desperately need to know how much time this man has spent figuring these things out. This is crazy.
Just remember, if you find and pick up a drift item bag, as nifty as that is on its own, you basically just aborted a good vagrant. So consider not doing that. It's also worth mentioning that there are 2 viable items that you can buy an infinite supply of: Transient Curses and Purging Stones. So if you have extra souls that are piling up from endless co-op or PvP, just go ahead and buy 99 of these.
Okay.
Drop one of them at a time before every time you warp to a new area, and you're going to help spawn a lot of good vagrants for people.
Yeah, be a good
Just a quick
Samaritan.
comment about
Spawn some vagrants
spawn
while you're at it.
locations. Vagrants have fixed spawn locations, like invaders, so they won't actually spawn exactly where the bloodstain was lost or the item was dropped, and this is why you'll often see pictures and videos of vagrants in repeating locations.
Hey, I found a vagrant.
Really?
Though the drift item bags themselves, before they become good vagrants, actually do appear exactly where the item bag was dropped. So if you're trying to help spawn good vagrants, consider hiding your item bag somewhere obscure so it's not found.
Oh, so you hide it and marinate that shit. And then it'll
So
appear in
because of
other
their
people's
fixed spawn
games, but they
locations,
won't be able to
and there
find
being a
it.
few bottlenecks of difficulty in the game, this results in there being a few vagrant locations that are much more well-known and notorious than the rest. So I'm going to quickly review a couple of the lesser-known spawn locations that I think you might find interesting.
Okay, I might find it
In
interesting.
Berg, an evil vagrant can potentially be found in the building that requires jumping to get into.
Oh, that makes
In
sense.
Lost Izalith, a good vagrant can be found behind the chest in the area with the dragon butts.
Dragon bots.
In the Darkroot Garden, a good vagrant can be found on this cliffside dead end behind all the frog rays. And in Anor Londo, a good vagrant can be found, well, here.
What? That's crazy.
Once again,
That is such a devious little
Vagrant
spot.
locations on the wiki, so you can take a look there if you're interested.
That is a devious little spot. The cooldown
Vagrants have their
timer.
own sort of hidden menu in the data, a vagrant queue. Incoming and outgoing vagrants will pass through this queue, so this is important for understanding how vagrants spawn. When you first receive a vagrant, you don't actually get it right away. It won't spontaneously spawn in your world.
The
when another
vagrant
player dies.
refractory period.
It'll be
They
in
gotta
your
recharge,
queue,
bro.
and then it'll unload from your queue and into your game once you reload the area. This is why you can't just leave your game on for an extended period of time and expect to find vagrants. The queue has its own timer system as well, and if you wait too long, you'll wind up sending the vagrant off to someone else. If you've ever just let your game run for an extended period of time, you actually probably had a lot of vagrants pass through your game without you realizing it. Now, there's also a very penalizing cooldown timer for vagrants. If you kill a vagrant, or pick up a drift item bag, your queue will freeze for 80 minutes, and there is no known way to clear this timer, so you won't be receiving or creating subsequent vagrants during this time period.
The vagrant refractory
So
period.
people will often ask if it's possible to create their own vagrants for themselves. And the answer is no, unfortunately, you can't. But there is a sort of trick that
It's just about the goodwill. You have to pass on the vagrants for other people.
you can do, though. If you intentionally create vagrants repeatedly, perhaps by duping a Firekeeper soul and losing bloodstains on purpose, you can try to spam the network with them. Bearing in mind that when other players die or leave the area without killing the vagrant they got, they'll send them back out to other players online. By random chance, one could come back to you, but there's no guarantee.
There are vagrant farmers out there. Dude, somebody out there is just doing the good work. Dropping a shit ton of souls and shit on the ground so people can have little vagrant crabs in their games. It's beautiful, thankless work, but it's holy work.
You'll have to be very patient, you could sink a lot of time into it without success, and this might even be harder to accomplish in the remaster due to the revised networking.
Doing it for the love of the game. Dude, imagine they go on like a dating show like The Bachelor and their lower thirds title is like Dark Souls 1 Remastered Vagrant Farmer. That's what they do. That's their job. Simple man.
That pretty much wraps it up. I think the Vagrants are a really unique and interesting mechanic. I can't say I've heard of another video game doing anything similar before, and sadly, you won't find it elsewhere in the Souls franchise. It hasn't shown up in Dark Souls 2, 3, nor Bloodborne, and I'm a little skeptical it's going to show up in Sekiro as well. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope it was informative, and until next time, consider dropping a bunch of transient curses.
Gotta make sure you're dropping your transient curses. Yeah, make sure to drop a transient curse. You never know, it could turn into a vagrant for somebody. When is the vagrant % run of this game happening? Stream ends when I get a vagrant. Anonymous, thank you for the gifted. Okay, we have to do our due diligence and like the video, obviously. What a great, interesting video about something crazy. How the hell did you determine all of this is the top comment. Let's see what he says. A lot of tedious and time-consuming brute force testing. Then debug leaked and the game was data mined. So he found all this through tedious testing and data mining. The GOAT. Don't forget to drop your transient curses. You never know, they might turn into vagrants. One person's transient curse is another person's vagrant. I'm saying. Okay, now it's time for 50 things we missed in Sekiro. Should I keep score? I bet I didn't miss all 50. I bet I only missed like 15. I'm gonna keep score. Everyone keep score at home. See how many you missed.
Finish the game at this point, right? Right? So, I've decided to compile my last 50 secrets for Sekiro into one video instead of 3, because after this it might be time to move on. Let's begin.
No,
with
don't
what
move on,
might be
Vati.
the best secret on this list. In the Shura ending, Al orders Wolf to forsake his master, with the intent to take Kuro away from the lands of the Ashina. What ensues is a conflict between Wolf, Emma, and then Ishin, and it's a conflict that Al excuses himself from just before the battle. But did you ever wonder
he's a pussy.
why Al left here?
Yeah, 'cause he's a
what
fart.
he might be doing as
Big
you
forehead.
cut down Ishin and Emma? The answer is incredibly subtle, but it's hidden within this scene. See if you can hear it.
A man such as Ishin.
That soft, squelching thud is very suspect. It seems like Al is putting something down right beside Ishin's corpse, right? This led me to ask Lance McDonald, prominent Soulsborne data digger.
Shout out Lance
to
McDonald.
disconnect the camera in this cutscene and see if there was anything to find. And sure enough, the thing that Al puts down beside Ishin is the severed head of Ishin's grandson.
Oh my
Genichiro.
god!
So while you were dealing
Genichiro's
with Emma and
head!
Ishin, Al stepped away and assassinated Genichiro.
Genichiro gets cut away, assassinated? Wait, that's crazy. They don't even give Genichiro the death scene. He gets cut away, killed by Owl.
Why? Well, Genichiro
That's crazy.
is also competing for Kuro's blood, plus Al also returns with the Black Mortal Blade. meaning
Yeah,
that
that's how he gets the
Genichiro
other
must have
Mortal
located
Blade.
At this point in the game, Black Mortal Blade in hand, very little should stand in Al.
That's insane. Why did they not just show that in the cutscene? Yeah, why did they not just show that in the cutscene? That's awesome. That goes so hard that he just like stepped away, killed Genichiro, and he's back.
Away, except Shura, of course, who, ironically, might have been awakened by the carnage that Owl initiated. As that dialogue reveals,
Okay, I did
Owl's
miss that
real
one. So
name
far,
is
I'm
Usui,
0.
which links him to a place called Usui's Forest, a mystical place mentioned in 2 item descriptions. First, it's mentioned in the Mist Raven feathers, belonging to one of the many mystical birds that reside within Usui's Forest, and second, in the Phantom Kunai item, which reveals that Lady butterfly trained in Owl's forest since childhood.
Whoa!
A place filled with mist and mystifications, which somewhat explains the shinobi that Owl became. In our first fight with Owl, he'll recite different parts of the shinobi code after each death we experience at his hand. First, that the parent is absolute, and if you unlocked a second resurrection
What a cool shot, by the way. This shot?
during the fight is absolute. After each death we experience at his hand. First, that the parent is absolute.
That fucks. That goes crazy. Screenshot that laptop background. That shit goes crazy.
And if you unlocked a second resurrection during the fight by performing a death blow, then you hear that second, the master is absolute. But what very few people know is that there's a third rule.
The secret
one that's
shinobi third
never
rule.
mentioned Unless
Don't blink.
you unlock a third resurrection by consuming a Jizo statue during the fight.
3. Fear is absolute. There is no shame in losing one battle, but you must take revenge by any means necessary.
This guy is crazy. Fear is absolute.
There is no shame in losing one battle, but you must take revenge by any means necessary.
There is no shame in losing one battle, but you must take revenge by any means necessary. Dude, that's so cool. Wait, yo, it is Lance McDonald. Wait, shout out Lance McDonald. Holy shit, it's Lance McDonald. Wait. What? Lance McDonald? Wait a minute. In this chat?
I wonder if you've got it in you to bring me down.
Oh my god.
3. Fear is absolute. There is no shame in losing one battle, but you must take revenge by any means necessary.
Okay, first of all, Owl is definitely making these shinobi rules up on the spot. I don't believe, like, he's just making them up. He's for sure just making them up, but oh, this goes so hard.
I wonder if you've got it in you.
I wonder if you've got it in you to bring me down.
No surprise that Owl is one of Miyazaki's favorite bosses in
yeah, that fucks.
He gave this interview where he stated that his favorite boss uses really dirty, underhanded tricks.
Why did he hide that line though? Okay, well I know why he hid that line. The same reason he made a crab creature that appears 1 in a million blue moons and only happens if you have more than 5 humanities and you die and you don't get your blood stained and if you leave an item. And then it goes and it cycles 20 times through other people and that's how you can find it. That's why he hid this dialogue. This guy is just a tricksy little guy. He's just a tricksy little guy. And he put his self-insert character in the game as your dad, who's 6'9", 0% body fat, and built like a fridge.
And that they're devious, and that he hopes that we'll know it when we see it. It has to be Owl, right? For this fight has this fantastic flavor to it. It's a boss that knows how to disable our heal, one that
he uses all your shit against you, and he's an asshole.
And most impressive to me, he's the first boss that actually has trickery just built into his animations. He starts feigning attacks just as soon as you get used to countering them. His gameplay mechanics reflect his character design, which I think is a really worthwhile design goal for any developer. Up here, as Ashina Castle is being besieged by the Interior Ministry, the soundtrack takes a bit of a turn. Listen to this part, and tell me if anything sounds familiar. You guessed it, that strained sound is the same one that we heard back in the 10-second Shadows Die Twice teaser. In this same area, earlier in the game, we fight Genichiro, and we see his second phase here, the Way of Tomoe. But did you ever wonder why he strips his metal armor off here? It could be because his flesh is astoundingly resilient and—
It's because he's hot. It's because he's hot. That's why, Vati. Sorry.
Anyway, thanks to the rejuvenating sediment, it could be that the Way of Tomoe favors flowing, unhindered movement.
Maybe.
My favorite idea is that his metal armor might conduct electricity,
Ooh.
and things are about to get heretical up in here. To prepare for the invasion, warriors of the Ashina.
Imagine Vati saying it. That's right. It's because he's hot. Why Legend think with the Prime? It's because he's hot. And that's it. And then Vati ends the video.
Over a map within the Ashina Dojo. The map depicts the area that you're in right now. Here's the main castle, the lake, the path to the sunken valley,
and Senpo
to the
Temple,
outskirts, and back down the main road. Just around the corner from this map is a tiny little shrine on the wall.
Right down the road?
One that's dedicated to what can only be the Divine Dragon. Its distinctive face is recognizable, as is the body twisted around the stump of the Sakura tree.
Isn't this what has the note that tells you about lightning redirection on it?
Attached, we see what look like omakuji, little requests for blessings that are written on paper by the occupants of the castle. And did you ever wonder how certain shinobi doors work? Most of them make sense, simply taking you from one room to the next, but some of them make as much sense as traveling in Dark Souls 2 from the Earthen Peak to the Iron Keep after taking an elevator. That is to say, it makes no sense
I hadn't
to
thought
flip a
about
door
that.
in Ashina Castle
That makes sense, I guess.
and end up in the dilapidated temple, nor to flip the door in Headless's cave and end up deep within the mountains of Senpo Temple.
Senpo Temple mentioned!
However, From has put one tiny little detail here to deter any naysayers. There are 9 unintelligible ancient Japanese symbols on the ground in both of these places, which we can only surmise to be magic markings controlling these shinobi doors, allowing us to
Teleportation.
teleport from one place to
You didn't
another.
think about that, did you?
And as you all know,
The shinobis.
it's magic. It ain't gotta explain shit.
It's shinobi magic.
Right beside some of the smallest, most impressive details often lie the most egregious mistakes that no lore master wants to bother
These are
trying
such
to
pretty shots. This looks amazing. I want to eat this.
explain. For example, the so-called secret path out of Ashina doesn't really deliver, considering it's just an open field with a broken bridge going nowhere. I'm not exactly sure why Sekiro and Kuro keep coming back here. However, in this very same area, we also see some of the best hidden details that this game has to offer. In our first fight with Genichiro, Wolf is fighting after having experienced a complete defeat, having only recently lost his will to live. Thus, he's completely out of practice, and his skills here are really rusty, and it's shown visually in this cutscene actually. Look at how Sekiro actually fumbles for his sword before he pulls it out. Compare this.
That's
to Sekiro who
crazy!
fights at the end of the game. Look how smoothly he pulls out his sword and
He
prepares for
forgot
combat.
how to be a
Not only that, but this
shinobi!
wisp of grass here actually represents Kuro, who has just fallen to the ground behind him. It's something that Sekiro doesn't even notice. That's how focused he is on the looming fight.
Oh,
with
he's
Genichiro.
locked.
Moving from Ashina into the
Okay, so it turns out I didn't know any of these things, and Vati was totally correct. He was very correct. These are 50 things that I did miss. I missed all of them. I missed all the shots. Turns out I missed every shot.
depths, we encounter our first Shishimen warrior.
Fuck this
which
guy.
in Japanese means the warrior with 7 faces. His design lives up to that, as he has a ton of faces all over his armor and
That's
attacks
cool.
with spirit heads that inflict terror. This warrior in particular drops the ceremonial tanto, which is a dagger that was used in ritual offerings to the divine dragon. They would cut spirit emblems from their own flesh, and as we know, spirit emblems harbor the souls of the dead. Considering this warrior harbors many lost souls himself, it's an item and a task that really suits this warrior. Curiously, their armor also features reared up centipedes on the shoulder guards. The centipedes are representative of the depraved immortality of the Fountainhead Waters, so it does make some sense that these warriors who once made blood offerings to those waters would seek to adorn their armor with their likeness. In fact, most characters with centipedes can trace their immortality to the Fountainhead Waters. Take the Guardian Ape, for example, who, in addition to lurking in a location where the Fountainhead Waters pool deeply, also soothes its severed head wound in a small waterfall overflowing with these same Fountainhead Waters.
That's
And as
crazy.
the centipede erupts
I hadn't really ever thought about how he had the centipede. But that makes a lot of sense. And what about the little centipede clawmen? Did they just choose to have the water and then they went crazy?
from the
Maybe he'll get to that.
Ape's body, take special note of the way that the ape's movement changes. Originally, it fights like a beast, as its original self, but in the second phase, the centipede actually takes control, and now it fights with writhing, centipede-like winding attacks. Furthermore, it learns how to use a weapon,
That's kind of a cool detail. I hadn't thought about it. I was like, he's just moving crazy now. He's just a little ballerina now.
which raises even more questions about the centipedes and
yeah, how do the centipedes know how to use a sword?
Really the ape's waters are fountainhead waters.
The average household centipede in your house actually does know how to use a sword. Be aware.
Which is a fact that's proven once you succeed at killing the great carp with Haranaga's poisonous bait during the Pot Noble questline.
We did
Once
this!
It's fed, return here, and you'll find its corpse. Proof that somehow a corpse, even as large as this one,
We did the carp side quest.
Speaking of the depths, I always found this piece of dialogue strange, where the old woman asks whether you'll be cast out or throw yourself in, and as I was scanning through all the dialogue text that was data mined for the game, I actually discovered this cut line from Kuro. It reads, "There exists a great gorge into which immortals are cast away into the underworld." Obviously, he's talking about the Ashina depths, and we do find many undying down here, some of them
those freaks.
victims of experiments with the rejuvenating waters.
Dogen!
Speaking of cut content down here, originally there was a different item you gave to the Red Priest of Mibu Village. Instead of Dragon Spring Sake, it was supposed to be a fresh Innsmouth liver. And this is significant because the town of Innsmouth is the setting for H.P. Lovecraft's Shadow over Innsmouth, and in this story, members of the village are turning into horrific aquatic life forms,
Ew.
which not only bears a ton of similarity to events in Mibu, but this is the story that inspired the fishing hamlet.
The fishing
in
village!
Bloodborne. And there exists even more overlap with Bloodborne's fishing village. Slugs, for example, are a part of the story and environment in Mibu, just as they're a huge part of Bloodborne's fishing hamlet.
Yeah, and the
Basket
slug
Head
women.
also mentions a hunter named Inuhiko, an outcast who eats the flesh of beasts and who uses fire to ward away other villagers, just like the hunters do in Bloodborne. I think it's less of an Easter egg and more of yet another example of From Software having common elements across all their games, not to mention the vermin in Bloodborne, which have their own counterparts in Sekiro's centipedes.
Ew.
There's even a hanging man cradling something that looks like a humanity sprite here. Perhaps he was killed for holding on to his humanity, which is clearly something that the other villagers have abandoned. One thing that we never really got to the bottom of was why Mibu Lake is filled with the upturned bodies of the villagers. The most logical reason is that they drowned this way due to their undying thirst. But a more satisfying explanation lies in the 1976 Japanese film The Inugamis, which features a murder victim who is found in a lake in this exact same upturned pose. And if I understand correctly, this is something that has been referenced in more Japanese media than just Sekiro since then, and we have the sarcastic Canadian on Reddit to thank for catching this one.
Shout out to sarcastic Canadian.
Valleys of Ashina.
Shout out that
we look
Redditor.
next to an item within Senpo Temple. It's a second bell, just like the one that takes us to the illusory halls. This one is found in the lower part of Senpo, in the room with the centipede long neck, and you have to wonder if this was ever meant to serve a purpose, an entry point to a future DLC, perhaps?
The bell? It's a Dark Souls 1
One of the most
reference.
interesting items in Sekiro is the contact medicine, a consumable that allows the player to voluntarily inflict a weak poison upon themselves so that they can't be affected by stronger poisons. But its most interesting use actually pertains to the Mist Raven prosthetic. For once you've taken the poison, it allows you to dash at any time since you're always taking damage. And if you look carefully at the contact medicine, you'll discover what's responsible for your affliction. Stemming from the powder crushed into tiny little bits are wings and abdomens of what can only be wasps or bees.
The bee powder.
Next is something incredibly cool, but also incredibly unknown.
The lizard!
If you use the bestowal ninjutsu on the green lizards, then your blade becomes enhanced with poisonous properties.
But
And
they're
the same
poison.
goes for blood smoke. You conjure a green mist that will poison anything inside of it. The lizards are so easy to kill that no one ever thinks to waste ninjutsu on them, but these effects are incredible, and honestly,
looks
it's
very
actually
pretty.
a huge shame that these lizards are always placed in out-of-the-way locations. Imagine if they were placed within boss fights, for example, and you could actually poison bosses by taking out a lizard at a key moment. I feel like this
Me when I take my lizard out at a key moment. Like, what?
ninjutsu could actually give you an edge in those fights. The same principle applies to the white lizards, of course. though the effect
Okay,
is
the
way
calm
harder to figure out.
lizards. Yes.
After a ton of experimenting, I realized that bestowal actually imbues your blade with a lifesteal effect, and that
That shit looks cool. It's like a little painting, like a little painting brush. That looks cool as fuck. You get the cum paintbrush effect. That's so
still
cool.
effect, and that the blood smoke can be used to conjure a health regenerating cloud. But you'll never need to heal if you never take damage, and there's no way to take no damage more stylish than the Senpo kick into High Monk. It actually deals a really fantastic amount of posture damage if you use it as an anti-sweep attack, because it also gets the
What is
bonus
this?
for jumping onto an enemy as well. Just don't use it when your enemies are equipped with projectiles, as you'll take extra damage and get smacked out of the air. Of course, this principle applies to
That's the
your
coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. You mean I could have been doing this shit? I could have been doing this shit?
because it also gets a lot of posture
How do you
damage
get this?
if you
How
use
do I
it as
get
an
that?
anti-sweep attack,
A skill
because
you
it
never
also
used. The skill book you never found. Where is that? Where is that? That shit is crazy.
gets the bonus for jumping onto an enemy as well. Just
That thing looks awesome. Giving them the aerial flip
really
sandal of
fantastic
death.
amount of posture damage if you use it as an anti-sweep attack.
Look at that
because
thing!
It also gets the bonus for jumping onto an enemy.
I didn't even
as
see
well.
Ong Ball
Just
use that.
Don't use it when your enemies
And Ong
are
Ball uses
equipped with
100% of the
projectiles,
human mind
as
when he
you'll
plays
take
this game.
extra damage and get smacked out of the air. Of course, this principle applies to your enemies as well. Every time they're in the air, make sure you throw a shuriken, or you can even throw ceramic shards to knock enemies out of the air. This might be one of the most underrated items in the whole game. Speaking of anti-air death blows, a surprising amount of enemies are susceptible to them. There's the twin blade enemies, the Okami, but most useful is actually against the Shishiman warrior.
Yeah, fuck
You
this
may
guy.
not have realized that you can use this here though, because it only becomes possible to do if you have Divine Confetti active on your weapon. Confetti is also an item that's generally underrated, especially in the late game and New Game Plus, where you can
Lightsaber.
purchase an infinite supply after getting the dragon's tally board from the corrupted monk. It's the best item to spend your sen on at that point, because Divine Confetti actually increases your weapon damage against all enemies, not just apparitions. This item allows you to connect with apparition-type enemies because the paper is created using water from the fountainhead, and
Oh, I
it's
didn't
blessed
use
by
it
the
against
gods.
her.
And this got me thinking, well then how come you can damage the headless underwater without the confetti then? One answer might be that since they're underwater, in the same divine waters that created the divine confetti, they might naturally be vulnerable to it as a result. Moving on down into the valley, you encounter this league of snipers who can take you out
Oh, fuck
at
these
an
guys.
insane distance. And what I love in this area is just the attention to detail. Even with the whipping winds, these snipers are still able to hit you. And the reason is these. These, I think, are called wind socks, which allow you to tell which direction wind is blowing and how fast, all at a glance. This is an invaluable tool for the snipers of the Sunken Valley. Damn, those snipers sound pretty OP, right? Well, what if I told you that you could recruit one of them for your own? I found this idea on YouTube, and it's pretty genius. You just use Puppeteer on the Snake Eyes right outside the Guardian Ape fog gate, and you can actually bring her in with you as ranged support during.
That's crazy! That is so cool! No way! No way! No way!
And
That
you can
is
actually
so
bring her in with
crazy.
you as ranged support during.
That's so crazy! Nah, yes, Guardian Ape. I raise you. Caitlyn and Yasuo from League of Legends.
Her in with you
What would
as
happen?
ranged
That's so
support
crazy.
during
She
this
just
difficult
has a gun.
2v2 fight. Just make sure you reapply the effect throughout the fight, and the fight against the two apes actually ends up being much more fair. Something people
That's
rarely
so
do
crazy.
is kill the Guardian Ape before you kill the Guardian Ape's low health mate. If you do this, then you actually don't need to even kill the mate. She just gets sad and leaves instead.
Aw.
This next theory was
Wait,
put
what a
forward by
ride or
a
die?
Japanese blogger. There's a translated link in the description. It puts forward that years ago, Ashina might have been hit by a meteorite made of adamantite, which would explain the precious metal scraps that Ashina is.
What? It was hit by a meteorite made of adamantite. Okay. Okay. It's like a Marvel character's backstory.
known for, as well as this deep lake that's right in the middle of the fountainhead. To add
And actually, you can just literally find Wolverine at the bottom of the Fountainhead Lake, and that's why his invincibility works.
to this, I would put forward that lazulite, the rare metal of Fountainhead Palace, also would have come from this meteorite as well, because the last line of the lazulite shuriken actually reads, "The lazulite blue trail of light it emits in flight is reminiscent of a shooting star." This
Whoa.
meteor would explain a few things. It would explain why the metals of the Ashina are so special that they attracted the attention of the gods. It would explain the supernatural powers of the divine waters, and perhaps most importantly, it would explain why the Mibu breathing technique was required to meet the divine dragon. The path to the palace is underwater, after all, but it can't have always been this way. The crater must have filled with water after the arrival of the divine dragon. Right before meeting the divine dragon, we find what is surely a Miko, a sort of female shaman or shrine maiden. And if my research is correct, then their role was one of spirit possession and cleansing, and she may have even served as a means of communication with the divine,
Okay,
allowing
girl.
the dragon to possess and speak through her. You can make a very strong case for both mortal blades originating from the divine realm. The open gate, or black mortal blade, has a description that asks the user to make offerings to the dragon's blood, and the gracious gift of tears, or red mortal blade, was surely intended for use on the divine dragon because it gets its tears, though it's impossible to know why it was created. If you look at the box it comes from, actually, you can even see
The box it comes from is so funny. Actually, if you paid attention to the unboxing video, you would know.
the same crest commonly found in Fountainhead Palace.
Yeah, what we got here today, chat, is the Mortal Blade. On the box, it's got like, you know, some
Furthermore,
Crazy.
the red mortal blade was taken and hidden by the Sempo High Priest.
The Sempo
man who
High Priest.
founded Sempo Temple, meaning that the man himself surely once traveled to this palace. A fact that makes sense when you look at the similarity in
Robert!
architecture between
That's Robert's
these
house.
two places. That's what I love about From Software's games. Their world building is just so consistent, and it's beyond compare. While exploring the Fountainhead, it's easy to become enfeebled, likely leading to a quick death.
Old man
as you can't
Sekiro.
even resurrect in this state. However, you can still fight back, barely, and if you manage to inflict a death blow upon an opponent, you actually undergo a unique kill animation in your weakened state.
Okay.
While recording this death blow, I managed to get a closer look at one of the crests on the palace noble scarves. It's a picture of the vermilion bird, something that's mentioned a couple more times in-game. Nearby is the Vermilion Bridge, where you fight the corrupted monk, and it's also emblazoned upon
And the Vermilion
Suzaku's
City,
Lotus
where you-
umbrella, which protects you from
Oh, the
flame.
umbrella!
But what exactly is the Vermilion Bird? Well, put simply, it's basically the eastern version of the phoenix. It's a red pheasant that is perpetually covered in flame, a mythological spirit creature of the Chinese constellations. Another cultural reference nearby is the mask that's worn by the corrupted monk.
That mask is so cool, by the
This is
way.
actually called a Hanya mask, something that's used to represent a jealous female demon in Japanese no theater. It has a wonderful design because when you look at it straight on, it's meant to look frightening and angry, but when you look at it from an above angle, the face is sorrowful, and it's a design that's intended to convey the complexities of human
That's
emotion.
really cool.
Another cultural reference is the Great
fucking
Carp,
cool.
which could pertain to the Chinese legend of the Dragon's Gate. As the story goes, many carp swim upstream in the river's current, but very few are brave enough to make that final leap over the waterfall to the Dragon's Gate.
Dude.
If a carp successfully
These are all in Yakuza. These are all in Yakuza. Because the whole thing with the carp swimming upstream is what they say about Nishiki, because he has the carp on his back. Nishiki has the carp on his back, and he's the carp that swims upstream, and some of them are too afraid to make the jump, but then he makes the jump, but then he gets exploded in Millennium Tower. So maybe as the carp you should not jump. Also, doesn't Majima have the Hanya mask? Yeah, Majima wears a Hanya mask. He's Hanya Man, I think in Yakuza 2. It's giving Yakuza. Girl who only played Yakuza. Like, Yakuza's awesome. What's wrong with Yakuza? If the carp successfully makes the jump,
it can transform,
then it
into
becomes a powerful dragon. Unless it explodes in Millennium Tower in front of his childhood friends. Okay? These are simple things.
And
It's all in the
considering
video.
Divine Dragon is actually called the Ningyo Dragon in cut content, and the word Ningyo describes a sort of carp, we can put stock in this legend as it relates to the Divine Dragon. And speaking of the carp, did you know that it's possible to make it friendly?
What?
If you feed him Koremori's truly precious bait, then he'll no longer attack you in the underwater stealth section.
He's chill.
Another beast in the Fountainhead Palace is the Sakura Bull.
We fought this
roaming
guy.
at the back of the area. Since this isn't actually a boss fight like the other bull fight,
It is a boss
you can
fight, for
use
sure.
the firecracker from stealth here, which scares the bull to death, literally. While all this is going on below, I also want to point out that the
That's
Okami
crazy.
on the rooftops are just chilling and enjoying their sake. Anyway,
That's awesome.
Back to the bull. Scaring it completely breaks the bull's posture, something that can never happen to you as long as you deflect the attack. Sure, your posture bar can fill. Even when you deflect perfectly, some attacks are just too powerful. But
It's the Bing Bong Man. Bing, 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 bong.
as long as you deflect them, nothing will ever actually break your posture meter.
Something I noticed while editing the Sekiro video is how scary this man is. This is the scariest man in the entire world. I simply was not looking at him when I was fighting him,
As long as you
but look, that guy is scary. That guy's fucking scary.
nothing will
He's a
ever
scary little
actually
guy.
break your posture meter, a fact that is particularly important in New Game Plus. And that's something I've never actually mentioned on the channel. New Game Plus brings with it the option to give back Kuro's charm, an item
Charmless.
that he slips onto your person at the start of the game. Without it, you actually take about 30% chip damage whenever you block against attacks.
Whoa.
So playing in this way requires you to deflect perfectly if you want to get by. Another item you might have taken for granted is the Hidden Tooth, or the Bite Down drug, both of which grant you death. However, it's not a regular sort of death. Usually, when you die, your resurrections are afflicted by a black strike-through, which prevents you from resurrecting for a time. However, if you commit Sudoku with this item, you actually get no such black strike, meaning that a player who accepts their death with a little bit of foresight can actually squeeze out more resurrections, especially
Whoa.
if you have extra resurrections granted by the Sakura droplet that drops from Lady Butterfly. Speaking of death, it was originally planned that NPCs with Dragon Rot could die, a mechanic that thankfully never made it into the game. This was discovered, again, by Lance McDonald.
Shout out
whose
Lance
video on the
McDonald.
topic you can find in the description.
Dude, if Dragon Rot had been able to kill my NPCs, they would have all been dead. I would have been 15 minutes into the video game all dead. Every single one of them just dead. Deader than anything.
And he talks about how there used to be an item called Dragon Rot Pellets, which you could create via Emma by trading in some of your resurrective power. Giving these pellets to a sick NPC would heal them, but just imagine how tedious this would have been compared to the cure-all item.
Yeah, you have to go and find every single person and distribute the cure to their dragon rot.
We have in the Dragon's Blood Droplet. Another great asset to the community is named Illusory Wall, who always discovers really
Shout out
neat
Illusory
things
Wall!
about these games. Long ago,
He's
he
in your
discovered
walls.
that if you spam buttons while you're grabbed, you'll take significantly less damage.
He figured that out? That's crazy. That's like the first guy who invented fire. That's crazy. That he figured out. I thought like the developers told you or something. Turns out it was Illusory Wall, the GOAT. Illusory Wall, he's in your walls.
Long
And
ago,
he figured out that you can
discovered
spam
that
if
you
you're
spam
grabbed.
buttons while you're grabbed, you'll take significantly less damage. One more mechanic that did make it into the game, but that not many know about, is a method by which you increase your stealth when you fall from a high place. Crouch as soon as you hit the ground, and you'll be able to better stealth past enemies like this one, even from above. Speaking
Wait.
of above,
If you
you'll be able to better fall from a high. Not many know about is a method by which you increase your stealth when you fall from a high place. Crouch as soon as you hit the ground, and you'll be able to better stealth past enemies like this one, even
Why?
from above. Speaking of above, the award for the highest kill goes to Evil Plan Z on Reddit, who says, "Fuck this monkey in particular."
Whoa.
My final fact pertains to the Sekiro Design Works, which is this book of gorgeous art that you can pick up pretty easily online from sites like Yes Asia and Amazon. Links are in the description. Go check it out. It's an amazing collector's item, but there aren't
Yeah, it's awesome. It has hot pictures. It has hot pictures of Grandpa. That's awesome.
too many revelations in here compared to previous design works, except for one interesting piece of what must be cut content.
Who's this guy?
Which depicts what appears to be Emma. Her eyes are bound and her hair is graying in the same manner that ours, Kuro, and the Okamis are.
Ishin firefighter calendar. Yeah, it's literally just pictures of our awesome hot grandpa. There's literally 5 pictures in a row of our awesome hot grandpa.
That you can pick up pretty easily online.
There he
from
is,
sites
feet
like
out and
Yes
everything.
Asia and Amazon.
Just in case you want that
Links
too.
are in the description. Go check it out. It's
Links
an
in this.
amazing collector's item.
Yes, please click Vati's affiliate Amazon link to get access to Ishin the Sword Saint's hot toes. Please. Can I tier 3 sub to Ishin? Tier 3s are only going to Ishin's toes.
But there aren't too many revelations.
Tier
in
3s
here
are reserved for
compared to
Ishin's
previous
toes.
design works, except for one interesting piece of what must be cut content, which depicts what appears to be Emma. Her eyes are bound and her hair is graying in the same manner that ours, Kuro, and the Okamis are. Thank you, as always, for watching.
You're
Back in
welcome.
March, when Sekiro released, I first promoted Demon Vati Vidya, my first piece of merch, and you guys really liked it. So
Boy.
now, as we wind down Sekiro
Shout out Vati's awesome merch. And by the way, please click Vati's affiliate link to buy Ishin the Sword Saint's toe calendar. Please do that. Please do that for GOAT. Okay, anything else? Somebody said to look up Zuli. I'll look up Zuli. Okay, not that song. The Witch. Zuli always putting out cool. Look up Hollow Knight on Steam and play it. Zuli the Witch? Zuli the Witch. I clicked Vati's affiliate link. Please respond. The Chibi-mon? What is this? Big mistake. Wizard content has no voiceover. Why I haven't spoken until now? Oh my god. Zuli speaks out, bro. Finally. Okay. I'm worried my graphics card will explode. Yorm, but he gets 5% smaller and 5% faster every time he attacks. This dog does 11,000 damage per second. Killing everything that can't be killed. Is the giant doll secretly watching you? You don't belong here. They eat time travelers. With the Age of Fire nearing its end, many strange creatures have emerged within the transitory lands of Dark Souls 3. While some are seemingly a result of the fire fading, others are more intentional, the product of deliberate corruptive forces. Such as this little freak, who I thought could be this guy's friend. In particular, the Outriders, Knights of the Boreal Valley, are both agents of Pontiff Sulyvahn, but also victims of his magic. Gifted with cursed rings, the fate of every Outrider is to die in battle as a knight or live long enough to become a monster. The end result of this process are Sulyvahn's beasts, massive creatures looking somewhere between wolves and crocodiles. Yeah, this creature was very Bloodborne. This is a very Bloodborne creature. I mean, he's literally got exposed goo. He's got so many teeth. Glowing eyes. The beast fur looks exactly like Bloodborne. If many things in Dark Souls, their design can be traced in part to Berserk, evoking the image of the Beast of Darkness. Oh wait, is this, because Fear and Hunger is also, like, gets a lot of inspiration from Berserk. Is this the same thing that Moonless is based on? Or what is the dog's name in Hunger? Moonlight? Moonless? Isn't it Moonless? The Funker dog. However, it seems that they're also partly inspired by the Cthulhu mythos indicated by their AI, which is labeled Thindarosu. And those are the Hounds of Tindalos are beings which live in the angles of time, up opposite from regular curved life. As such, it says they can materialize from any sharp corner, appearing in a cloud of smoke from where the lines intersect. Hounds are evidently very particular predators, focusing their attention mainly on those who meddle in time travel. And this has some implications with Dark Souls 3, especially as the game does feature elements of time travel in its story. Yeah, because all the time is fucked in the DLCs. And also, wasn't the main character of Dark Souls 3, weren't they technically a lord previously, but then they were resurrected to go fight in Dark Souls 3? Yo, the backless dress! Shout out the backless dress from Dark Souls 2. In a sense, the world the player spends most of the time in the game may not be their own, and instead more like an invasion. No, he was just a nobody. Firelink Shrine player awakes in isn't connected to the main map, it can only be exited by warping from bonfire. Instead, the main world's equivalent is the Untended Graves, a darker iteration that seems to be a past version of the shrine, just like Hunter's Dream is really the Hunter's Workshop that's in the real world. Think about that. Notably, the player waits to speak to the handmaid first in Untended Graves. She seems to recognize them in Firelink. And of course, Champion Gundyr can be found here as well before he was relegated to the position of Iudex. You want to get demoted to Iudex. The player may be entering the past when they leave Firelink, or Untended Graves exist in its own pocket of time. Either way, both the game's finale and the second DLC seem to take place in the distant future in a more blatant example. Given the implied time travel, the Hounds of Tindalos are a suitable reference and add more layers to Sullivan's Beast. She's a 10, but she demoted me to IEDX. Can I say she's a 5 probably at that point. Can't be demoted to IEDX. I'm a champion. Even the dancer's eerie intrusion to Lothric Castle may have been taken some inspiration from how the Hounds were described. She's a 10, but she's part Hound of Tindalos. What then, gamer? Yeah, Vort! Vort also, like, moves like a dog. And this would be obviously true for Vort as well, who appears behind the player from a similar veil of smoke! Yeah, they're all coming from the smoke! While these potential allusions to the Hounds are vague, it's interesting that they may have influenced multiple NPCs. Dude, got the whole fam. Dark Souls 3 time travel aspects aren't really given a direct focus, but have shaped its narrative and design in other ways. Cool. Everyone hates this stupid horse. Okay. Shout out Liza P and its stupid horse. Shout out Zuli the Witch. Wait, that was cool. Check out The Wall. She's an Irithyll 5, but a high wall of Lothric 9. So true. Not many 9s at the high wall of Lothric, I'll tell you that much. Off-camera secrets with Ornstein? That sounds like a video. How a typo changed this entire fight. Everyone hates this stupid horse. Yeah, these videos seem cool. Love the Yorm one. He gets 5% smaller and 5% faster every time he attacks. Oh, chat, I had an idea for, like a challenge run. And it's based on, like, Small Ant did this one challenge where, like, in Fire Red, whatever trainer he beat, he had to then use all of that trainer's Pokemon as if he was that trainer. But I was thinking, like, if you could do that in Dark Souls 2 and be like whatever creature you beat, you then become that creature and you have to fight as it. So, like, if you kill a dog, then you're a dog. If you kill, the Dragon Rider, you're the Dragon Rider. I don't know if that's possible, but if there's a mod or something where you could do that, that would be really fun and cool. Use what you see randomizer. Horse is the item you just picked up to be equipped to you. That sounds fun. And terrible. What is Limit Breaker? Beat the boss wearing their stuff. But I thought it would be cool if there was some kind of way where you could actually physically, like, become that NPC. Okay, Limit Breaker. Yeah, I want to do Archipelago. Limit Breaker. Limit Breakers. Everything about bonfires. And I do mean everything. Advanced enemy control. A mod that allows players to use enemies anywhere on Dark Souls Remastered. Takes care of everything, including your controller for a first time. Time for crab? What is crab? What is crab? Can you survive the strongest attack in Dark Souls 3? Me personally? Probably not. I think it would kill me. Limit Breaker's crab video. Very fast Andre smithing at incredibly high speed. Did I just search crab? Crab. The Crab Collection. He's all about crabs. Mystery of the Catacomb Crab. Hacking up crabs. Myth breakers. Testing the crab. What is the crab? This old man, he's got crabs. Was the night after Crabmas. He makes a lot of videos about crabs. The crab. Whose crab is this? Dark Souls 3 DLC boss spoilers. The crab. I replaced all the textures in Dark Souls 3 with a crab? Is that what you want? Get your crab out. On Patches. Get your crab out. Who is your Krabby? And what does he do? Replace all the textures in Dark Souls 3 with a crab. So, crab? I don't understand. There's a crab in the catacombs? In Dark Souls 1 there's a crab? Mystery of the Catacomb Crab. Okay, I'm in.
Are you ready for data so scary? It couldn't be risked.
I'm ready.
It's shown on Halloween for Risk of Spook Overload.
I'm scared.
We are finally going to investigate the mystery of the skeleton ball crab.
Thank God. It's about time someone investigated it.
Oh, I suppose that is a little too dramatic, eh? So who is this crab, and why does he matter? Deep inside the catacombs are two skeleton balls. Each ball is maintained by a nearby skeleton wizard. Wait a minute.
The flow of time itself is convoluted with
D4. Defeating this crab guardian causes the ball to shatter, releasing the infamous Catacomb Crabbo.
The crab?
But this is no mere crab. Its bloodlust is eternal.
This is Vati's alt account. Dude, Vati's posting crab lore on his alt again. Somebody get him.
No, he is unique since he will pursue you to the ends of the earth.
Is this real?
More so than the actual pursuer, who gives
I doubt
up
that.
rather easily. Shallowest lore. So why does this matter? It's time for a quick history lesson.
Okay, I'm ready.
Back to Dark Souls 2.
Okay, Crab Souls 2.
As if it was 1,350 days ago. Much like,
like
how
3 years.
Dark Souls 3 and myself are infested with crabs. 2 was obsessed with pigs.
Oh, okay.
It introduced
And Bloodborne,
the
why not?
porcine shield. The 3 little pigs in Majula. Killing them 12 times spawned 2 boars. And in the expansion, killing them 12 more times spawned the mighty undead boar.
Actually?
There is even an 1 in a 1,000 chance of spawning a piglet in this area. But the real secret was if you took any pig from that previous bonfire and got one.
Okay, the old man Jenkins voice is killing me. It's like old man Jenkins from SpongeBob is telling me Dark Souls 2
Very
lore.
precise location.
And sometimes I can still hear his voice.
Almost there now. All the way to this church. From these truffles he would dig
Truffles!
up the pickaxe. So what is the secret of the crab?
What is the secret of the
Where
crab?
do we lead him to? But first, let's talk about where we can't take him. This is a map of the surrounding area.
Sure, sure.
This is where the crab spawns. So we can see that we can take him to the king skeleton himself.
Of course.
It's a short trip over the bridge to the boss
Right down the
room.
road, some would say.
However, he cannot enter. There is a very large invisible barrier/watermark that
Why are you
blocks the
kicking
way.
him? Jesus Christ!
With hacks, we can let him inside.
I don't know if I can like this video. The crab
But
abuse is
this
uncanny.
path ends here, even with hacks. He cannot go into Irithel.
Oh,
Looks
sure. He
like
disappears.
He isn't a snow crab after all.
He's very against it.
Sharpest floor. We could try to bring him to Swampy.
His dad reunited with
It
his
is
family.
A short distance from the Abyss Watcher's
Why is he trying to bring him
room.
places?
However, this does involve a lengthy but possible journey for our Crabbo.
How does this tell us
But
anything
like
about
all
him?
boss rooms, mobs cannot enter. This time, not even hacks work.
Oh, to trigger a
He
secret.
gets
Okay, I'm
pushed
so
right off the map. R.I.P. Crabbo.
Goodbye.
But there seems to be a clue. In Smoldering Lake, there is a neutral crab who won't harm you unless hit.
What?
Crabbo takes little fall damage.
No, there's so much crab kicking in this video.
Therefore, can descend down the bridge to Smoldering Lake, so we can reunite them. It's our longest journey yet.
God
so
bless.
Let's get started. As you may have expected, this will take some time.
How long did this take
so
him?
While we fast forward all this, how about a spot of tea?
Okay,
You
I'm good on the
leave
tea.
A pile of corpses. When you reload the game, they will return to their original placements.
Okay.
The crab too returns to the skeleton ball.
Oh, okay.
And will emerge dead until you rest at a bonfire. Did you know the skeleton ball is actually empty?
Okay.
The crab also appears before it even shatters. Using hacks, we find out the crab exists before
So the crab is
ball
not even in the
broken.
ball.
You can kill him with hacks pre-shattering. He isn't hiding off screen. He is mostly disabled.
He's
and
always
invisible
there.
in his
He's
normal spawn
always been
location.
there. Wow.
Crabbo also isn't just a crab with a modified chase range. He is a distinct breed compared
He's
to the
different
swamp
from the swamp crabs.
They are worth different amounts of souls.
Oh,
have
he's special.
different HP totals.
He's special.
With hacks, we can see Catacomb Crab even.
This is
has
Avatar
more
Aang the
stamina.
crab.
You might
The ball
think
was his
he drops
iceberg.
Nothing. Using hacks for maximum item discovery, we can see the
The entire point of this crab is actually a silly joke. It's meant to be a big scary ball, but when you smash it, the punchline is that it was a little crab controlling it like a hamster ball. But people wanted it to be more than just a silly joke. Fair. That's fair. Shout out Lance McDonald for real. Leading Souls expert, Lance McDonald.
Catacomb crab drops either of these, while swamp crabs can only drop these two. Perhaps combined, we can get the fabled moss fruit to return. Oh, it's almost time.
It took him so long to do this. Thank you, Lance McDonald. All right, chat, everyone in unison, say thank you, Lance McDonald.
Prepare yourself.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Alas, nothing happened. Oh, but alas, nothing happened. It's a Dark Souls 2 reference.
But you might have known this already from this video. But now that you understand the myth, it's time for Myth Breakers,
Okay.
where we confirm the myth. Or I'll get real tired and take a break. I'll also test all the theories I've seen on the internet. So before you finish that comment, watch
How do I know if I have crabs? If you've watched this video, you for sure have crabs.
part 2
You
to
all just got
see
crab.
if I haven't already tested it out. Or I'll break your wife Prue's legs. Continued in part 2.
There's more parts! He's still... Dude, the crab is nothing, man. Relinquish the crab. Welcome to Crab Week. Relinquish the crab. The crab can't hurt you. Relinquish the crab. It can't hurt you. There's 3 parts.
Today's episode of Myth Breakers. Old Man and Question Bot have compiled every theory they could find on the internet on what to do with the
They're just taking suggestions and trying every single possible thing to figure out if the crab does something.
Embers. Cause you know, they are ember crabs.
No. He must not be hungry.
What about the guaranteed drops from the giant crabs?
So I'm kind of on their side a little bit, because why would the crab have an increased follow radius if it wasn't for something? If it was for nothing? Maybe that's also a part of the joke, is that the ball breaks and the crab just like follows you around. Maybe that's part of the joke. It's all part of the joke. It has increased follow radius because it can spawn anywhere the ball breaks.
Try dropping them and wearing them too.
I just want to know how many combined hours this man has of like following and searching for this crab rabbit hole to mean something. He's just a crab. He's just a crab. I'm gonna click on part 3. I'm kind of invested.
Sup? Limit here?
They got Grey Rat involved in this
Old
shit.
Man said he needed some big hacks. And he said I was the biggest hack he knew. Oh. So let's see if we can work out the mystery of the catacomb crab by hacking up the insides. Back in part 1, we learned that the swamp crab and the catacomb crab are...
Dude, this image. This image with the little skeleton peeking is crazy.
not identical. Each have different HP.
We learned that the crabs are different. Is there any meaningful conclusion with the crabs?
Flag has changed when the skeleton mage is killed, to spawn the catacomb crab after, or load the scene when you emote for X amount of seconds with a certain gesture, making the pig dig up the pickaxe,
Pig?
or when using the pendant and going down to Clam Man.
Clam
Do a
Man?
trick to unlock the... Recently, in Dark Souls 1, you can now change events. This type of modding is radically different from just changing textures, modifying temporary variables, or
Oh yeah, all the crab textures.
swapping IDs. An example of altering events can be found in this great Dark Souls 1 mod, Estus Quest. Normally you just use a key and leave here, but instead a custom message appears telling you of your terrible fate and shatters your Estus flask, which you can only get back for defeating the Black Dragon Calamet. Calamite? Ugh, I don't know. So, that's pretty rad, eh? But the reason I bring this up is since you can edit events, you can also read the events. So you can see the obscure behind-the-scenes code written in Clay English. Well, not really. It's actually in Japanese.
Okay,
then
cool.
turned into English, and then read through a weird program, and blah blah blah. We'll skip all that shit. This is essentially the Rosetta Stone of Dark Souls mysteries.
Okay.
But sadly, we can't do
Awesome.
this in Dark Souls 3. or even
So we'll
Dark Souls
never
2.
know about the the
So,
crab.
Until we can read Dark Souls 3 events, we can't know for certain that the Catacomb Crab is changing a flag for being somewhere else in the map, or dying somewhere, or doing whatever, somewhere, wherever. If that's the case, we're putting the cart before the crab.
The cart before
I
the crab.
imagine
Classic.
the quest spawned a pickaxe, something like this. The event is triggered, and it goes off and does the sequence. Not like this. Not as 3 independent triggers. It is a shame, since if it did work like this, we could brute force something to happen. Since we could just dig in the animation area and force the item to spawn. So, yeah, we would have been very lucky to make something happen. But you never know. Some events are actually tied to animations after all. Such as this one, causes the screen to shake. This one makes a little warp noise and makes you disappear.
Whoa, 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 what was his thumb doing? Whoa, where was that thumb going, Grey Rat? That thumb is crazy. Oh my god. He got the circumcised thumb. Jesus Christ. What is that thumb doing?
This one is pretty much the same. And
Lord.
the 4 NPC
Dark Souls
animations
3
that
is
you've used
circumcise your thumb.
will kill you. It is actually pretty brutal. I'm even using hacks not to take any damage. It literally just flicks on the kill switch and yeah, rest in pesto. And finally, and most importantly, this one makes you have a tiny head. So yeah,
awesome.
That's it. It is officially over. I am completely out of ideas. I don't think anyone could even suggest a viable thing left to test.
They've tested everything.
Take the passive crab to the Catacomb Crab.
Oh god, this was a really bad idea.
Oh, they're taking the dad.
But don't give up, skeletons. I'll continue to look into this crab hole. To be concluded.
To be concluded. What the crab quest? Okay, but if you think about it, in Dark Souls 1 with the vagrants and the evil vagrants, they were already on some crab nonsense. They were already on a little bit of crab nonsense. So is it too far-fetched to think that this is just extended crab nonsense? I mean, Dark Souls 3 is literally a game about telling you to remember Dark Souls 1 and remember Dark Souls 2. So they were just like, remember when we did the silly crabs in Dark Souls 1? This is that, but now they're silly in Dark Souls 3. What about that? What about that? To be crab continued. To be crab continued. Just like this stream. And the link on Vati's video that gets you 20% off on Amazon of the feat book for Sekiro. Think about that. Think about that. Alright, chat. That's it for me. Crab need to. I did dress up as a crab. All these things are connected. All these things are connected. Ishin feet percent run win. Is that just when we look at all the pictures of his feet? And we just like really appreciate every different angle of his feet that have been presented. Yeah, I want to do Lies of P tomorrow. So maybe Lies of P tomorrow, and then we'll continue on our Lies of P train, and then sometime next week we'll have another kind of like fun stream, a fun side quest stream. We should watch the Lies of P trailer. Ooh, we should do that tomorrow. We'll start with the P train. We'll start Lies of Penis with that. Lies of P. Lies of P. Okay, chat. Good night. Good night. Remember to click Vati's link to get 15% off of feed pics. Okay, bye. Good night. Good night.